They returned with knowledge. Maybe the city would show her what to do about her people and about her own heart.
Or maybe Nakomi will just show up and tell her. What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is The Nerdy.
The Wordy.
The Book Club. A book club podcast that was recently ranked in the top 88 podcasts by Feedspot.com.
Let's go.
Thank you so much to Feedspot for featuring us in your listicle. We appreciate it.
We love some listicles.
Yeah, we also have to thank Blue right at the top of the show. Before there was even 2 messages in the chat this morning.
I got that in the middle of the night, that notification, because I got a gifted stuff.
Blue, you're a mad lad. Thank you for 10 Nerdy Nightly memberships.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Nerd Table, you nargs, and MXM.
Welcome to the Nerd Table.
Welcome to the Nerd... Oh, no, MXM joined themselves. That was not a Blue gift. So, MXM, thank you so much for joining.
Appreciate it.
I hope that you got to listen or watch or whatever you do with those audiobook reactions we did this week. 4 audiobook reactions this week.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Much listening.
Much listening.
I'm a very good listener.
No.
I am.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes.
I'm good at listening and conversation. I feel like I make people feel like I am paying attention to them,
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that is a strength of mine.
You know what? You're right.
Thank you.
That is a strength of yours.
Yeah. Because I care what people have to say,
Mm-hmm. It's only listening the rest of the time that's a struggle.
Yeah. If I'm doing something or distracted and you start talking to me, you got to give me at least 30 seconds, notice. You know what I mean?
But what's funny
My brain is already so loud.
What's funny is that you're like that, and yet you still yell for me in the house as if I am always listening.
Which you are never listening.
You know I always have a podcast or something going on when I'm in the house.
Yeah, but it still works. You're like, did you call me? And I'm like, yeah. See?
Yeah.
Positive affirmations.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, book club? It is an hour early this week.
Good morning.
Yeah, it is an hour early this week.
Yeah, because we got a flight to catch.
Yeah, we're going to Los Angeles for Anime Expo.
Hell yeah.
Terrible decision. Just god-awful decision by the two of us.
How dare. How dare we. Want to say happy birthday to Corinne?
Corinne, happy birthday. Thank you for being here.
Happy birthday.
I hope you have a wonderful B-day.
Hell yeah.
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 Okay, fine. You did the last one. Jesus Christ.
Blige Monkey in the chat says, I show up and Nerdy got the Amos cut. I feel like it's more the Miller cut. I feel like we kind of did the Miller Expanse.
Yeah, I mean, Miller's definitely way longer on the top, but you've got the curl that Miller has. So actually,
I'll get there.
That's a cut. You get that hat that you would pull off.
Y'all, it's
Amos
gonna be hot.
A little more close all the way around.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot in LA, y'all. So I wanted a little bit of a
a
little less hair on the sides.
Yeah.
A little less heat.
It's only gonna be 30 degrees.
Yeah, I'm like a puppy that you have to groom in the summer.
The amount of hair that you have that was falling off when I was shaving it, I was like, I wish I had that much hair.
It's just so
fake
thick.
it. I fake it.
Yeah.
I take my hair out of its contraption 60 seconds before the show, and then it deflates throughout the day. This is a lie.
I love that contraption. Makes me feel like every morning you wake up and Jigsaw's on the TV and he's like, "Hello, Clarus, would you like to play a game?"
God damn it.
You're like, why is there so many things in my hair?
No, I put them there. It's fine.
All right, we don't have time for a 6-hour book club, so we got to get into it. Clarus, is there any housekeeping?
Well, Arzu just gave it 5 memberships, so...
Thank you, Arzu.
Thank you, Arzu.
I appreciate that.
Good morning.
You're the best.
Yeah, and we appreciate everyone who commissioned audiobook reactions. Arzu, obviously, is included in that, but... Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
And thank you to Arzu for kind of organizing all of that for us, because it got confusing.
Thank you. Yes.
Clarus, what did you think of the reading this week? We read The Towers of Midnight.
We did.
Chapters 34 through 45.
Yeah, we did. The guy's book is a banger. I don't know.
It's a banger book.
Yeah. I'm just happy. I don't really have. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
I really loved the Perrin stuff this week. It's a lot. We're going to be talking about Perrin a lot this week. Perrin goes through a number of adventures.
Yeah, the Perrin stuff has been really, really on point. And, like, you know, like, I haven't really enjoyed reading his stuff for a while. Yeah. Even when I thought that there were, like, good parts to it, like, I was never really, like, excited for Perrin stuff. But this was cool. This was, like, the whole arc of it was really, really cool.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I think the Perrin arc is great. I think the Elaine, getting back to some Elaine stuff was interesting and fun. Yes. And we saw 2 boys get back together for the first time since, like, book 3, I think. I don't think Perrin and Matt have seen each other since...
Yeah, because, like... Shadow...
Oh, no, since Kyrian. No, it would have been later than that.
Really? Because because Perrin went back to the 2 rivers, right? For book 4. So I think it might be sometime in book 4 or, like, book 3.
But Perrin and Matt saw each other in Kyrian after Rand beat the Shido, right?
After he beat the Shido?
I thought it was book 3 as well, but I think it's further back than that.
Yeah, no, it's been book 4. Yeah.
Oh, the beginning of book 4.
Yeah. It's been a fucking hot second, which moment was great.
It probably doesn't feel like it to them because every time they hear each other's names,
they see one another.
Yeah, so they're like, dude, I see you like 12 times a day.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you look the fucking same in my head. Like,
I also love in that moment, Perrin being like, I'm so glad the color thing didn't happen because it'd be really weird to look at him while I'm here.
Yeah. No, appreciate that creator pattern wheel, whatever you want to call it.
Nakomi.
Basically.
Let's just dive into it. There's so much to talk about this week. We don't have all the time in the world, and I want to talk about all the lovely, lovely Perrin stuff and get to his very sexual Hammer chapter. If you didn't see our reaction to the Hammer chapter, I am a child, and I apologize to the community. I should not have behaved the way that I behaved in that reaction.
Please. Please.
Fuck me, was I having fun.
No one is surprised.
Chapter 34 of the Towers of Midnight. Judgment. Where we catch up at the beginning with Perrin, and he's headed to trial.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's out to prove that he's not a murderer. He's just an illegal killer.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a fun chat about that, didn't we?
Yeah, and we get this like sense that Perrin he's just trying to figure out where this trap is coming from. He knows that he's near a bear trap.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't know when he's going to step in it.
Yeah.
And we get the first kind of time where he's like, if I hadn't fought the White Cloaks, or if I had fought the White Cloaks, it would have come already. So it's got to be close by.
Yeah.
How did you feel the like foreshadowing of the trap that the White Cloaks eventually fall into was handled in these chapters?
I mean, I think it was like a little obvious. Like I was never confused about what was going on or like, is Perrin gonna attack them? Like there was obviously like a trap that was being smelled and like Graendal's like, I'm gonna go kill Perrin, you know what I mean? And like we saw that meeting with Moradin. You can use my tool, which is Slayer, and the Dream Spike or whatever it is. And so, like, and I don't mean obvious in a bad way. Like sometimes people take that as a negative where everything has to be a mystery or a bait and switch or whatever it is. I think that the setup was like very clear and the payoff was great for it. I
understand what you're saying by obvious. I like the way that we build up to that fight just because I feel like we get a lot of Perrin's reasoning. Yeah. And it says a lot about his, like, the reasons why he believes this to be true are really about what he is good at, what his intelligences are, what he knows from growing up in the Two Rivers, right? Like, we get this sort of, like, tapestry of ideas from him that culminate in showing off how smart Perrin is and why he's a good leader. And so, I didn't feel like it was a mystery. I didn't think the book was going for that. But instead, I felt like the book was going for, let's show why Perrin deserves a position that he's in through actions that are successful for, like, the reasons of his character growth have led him to be good at this.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really valuable. And I really like the arc that he goes on throughout, particularly this week of reading, in terms of getting him to the point where he accepts leadership.
Yeah.
And I think that part of the reason why he accepts that leadership is these moments where he's realizing that he's actually pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And these people follow him for a reason. And part of that reason is that he is the guy who's going to take care of them.
Yeah.
He knows his own heart and he knows that it is good, right?
And they know it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like people, like, when people have someone to look up to and to follow who, like, they trust to make the right decisions, it's so much easier than, like, yeah, I'm, like, part of an army or a group or an organization, but, like, the boss guy, I don't know. I don't know about him.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to be like, yeah, I work for great people. I help good people do good things. And so the whole Perrin, like, cheating thing, I think was, like, kind of very strange. Considering later on, they're like, well, if you really asked the Two Rivers people, they didn't really think anything happened. And I'm like,
I think it's more about, like, the discomfort of a situation that you're not fully, where you feel like people aren't being honest with you, right? Like, I feel like the Two Rivers people are following Perrin and feel like he's keeping them in the dark on this for some weird reason.
Yeah.
And, like, I think that is as damaging as the not saying anything about it makes it weird.
Yeah.
You know, there's always that thing where you walk into a room and you know there's a secret that enough people know because people are just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the third day of rehearsal when you've gone off to wherever your theater is and you've all met for the first time, and that one guy in the cast who everybody knows has a girlfriend back home definitely hooked up with a girl in the cast. Yeah. And everyone shows up to rehearsal the next day and is thinking about the party the night before, and you're like...
But he didn't, right? So it's like...
No. I know. I'm saying the vibe in the camp.
Right,
is that vibe of, like, nobody knows how to talk about it because people are trying to keep secrets.
Yeah.
And I think more so than anything, like, I think these lords are so used to politicking that Berlane and Fail are used to the, like, sort of courtroom politics, the Deus Damar of it all.
Yeah.
That they don't realize that just coming out and saying something and being honest with normal people usually works. It doesn't work with politicians.
But no, it did, because Perrin did the same thing, and they're like, wow, he's so brilliant, big brain. What is his, like, 4D chess play here?
That's true, too.
So, you know... Dead Iron, welcome to the nerd table.
Dead Iron, thanks so much. Good morning, beautiful book club. Thanks for the membership. Much love and peace. So glad to be here. Like that smash button.
Yeah, like that smash button.
I wish I could, like, pay to have YouTube make our like button just say smash.
Right?
Yeah.
Smash or pass.
Yeah. Blue says Morgay should have awarded Perrin for killing an invading army, instead declaring that he killed illegally. I think that politically, Morgay's calling the White Cloaks an invading army while she's in their camp might not have been the smartest decision.
Well, she did.
What?
She did.
No, but I mean, particular saying that, like, Perrin is not that, but the White Cloaks are. Yes. I think that then it would make her judgment look biased.
Yeah, no, I think that, like, it was as fair as, like, possible, because it's the consequences of your own actions, even when they're justified, which we talk about with the Aiel so much, right?
Yes.
You do what you need to do. You do what you believe you have to get done. But there is toll at the end of that you need to live up to, repay, however you want to phrase it.
I think Morgay handles it perfectly, but I think part of that is Taviran. We cut over to Fail, and Fail is watching Bane and Chad be fucking hilarious. Love these two ladies.
Well, we got you weapons, but I already prepared my own weapons. Yes, exactly. Fuck off.
Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless.
And he laughs. Like, he thinks it's hilarious. And I thought it was hilarious, but I was like, that's so mean. Like,
that's that Aiel humor, though.
I love it.
They're just straight roasting each other all the time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I do. It is funny. Like, the Aiel humor is sort of like how comedians talk to each other. In a weird way, where it's like it's a roast, or drag queens. The Aiel are either like stand-up comedians or they're drag queens, in that they have this, like, private kind of comedy that they do behind closed doors that is very culturally specific, and also, like, if you can roast someone really well, rather than being upset, they will be turned on by it. You know what I mean? And Gaul, they fucking roast him over his ability to prep his own weapons. Because they want to polish his spears and you know he's rock hard. You know what I mean? You know Gal's like standing there next to the horse like, God, I'm glad I'm not sitting on that horse or else my massive erection would be grinding against this saddle for the next 4 hours.
It'd be very uncomfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's actually canonically why the Aiel don't ride horses.
Oh, they're all swanging?
Well, no, it's because they, as a race, are not able to control their erections. And so the pommel of the saddle just grinds against their random erections all day long. Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. So why don't the women ride horses?
It's out of respect for the men.
Better? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Solidarity,
it's an anything you can do, I can do better kind of situation. And so they don't want to be stood up.
Of course. Yeah. No, I understood. That makes total perfect sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's canon. Anyways, Bane and Chiad are little fucks, and I absolutely love them. Yeah.
They go to see Galad, and Galad is like, "Will you accept the punishment?" And Perrin's like, "I have more soldiers than you have."
Yeah.
I have magic, and you have no magic.
Yeah.
Your mom's a little bit, your stepmom's a little bit magic, but my magic beats your magic.
And Fael's like, you have to be at the last battle.
Yeah.
So.
And deuces. So we get the trial of Perrin Ibarra, where the.
Ibarra versus White Cloaks.
Ibarra versus White Cloaks. Ibarra v White Cloaks, because it is a legal battle.
Of course.
What did you think of the trial?
It was great.
You turned to me and you had a problem at the point where they said killing illegally.
Yeah, I was like, this is like, and it's just legal jargon, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's all fucking semantics, which is what the law is. Like, if you can manipulate it to be how you want it, then there's nothing that can be done, because if it says it and you can twist it to your advantage. That's, like, very real. It's kind of like, Egwene did, like, not the exact same thing, but a similar thing where it was like, yes, this law, I'm going to use it. Haha, since none of you know what it is, now you have to obey me. No questions asked.
I actually, I loved it. I thought this whole trial sequence really worked for me because it was, first of all, a testament to... I
didn't have a problem with killing illegally. You and I, bantered about, whether or not that constituted manslaughter in our world.
Yeah.
That's what we were that's where I was a bit confused.
Oh, I definitely think that Perrin could be charged for manslaughter.
Yeah.
I don't think that this would get him. I don't think that if a prosecutor tried to bring a murder charge in this case in our world, I don't think he would be successful. Yeah. Right? I think that if
you want it to stick.
The way the night's events went, and the, who do you lay blame on is really complicated in this situation.
Yeah.
And I think that manslaughter is the charge that you would go with because it's the one you're most likely to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just Morghese running it, and so she's like, well, I deemed that the White Cloaks were an invading army, and Perrin was also, invading force, and it was just mercenaries who killed one another.
Which it was.
Yeah.
Except Perrin wasn't an invading force because he's from your country. But
yeah, I was like, he lives there. That was a bit weird to me, but I don't give a shit.
I think that what I really like about this scene, from beginning to end, is that the White Cloaks who are there, their perspective is right. There's no lying in this trial. Everyone is being as honest as they can be, right? Because I was a little bit like, are there going to be
Except for Bayer.
No, but Bayer isn't lying.
Bayer's like, I saw him kill your dad.
He doesn't say that, though.
You definitely killed your dad. How else could it happen?
He says that, but that's not a lie from his perspective.
Sure.
I thought that this was going to be are there going to be dark friends trying to pull subterfuge to lie and change the events? Or there are evil magic people who work for the devil working behind the scenes to twist knives, right?
Yeah.
And instead what we got was a very honest trial.
Yeah.
Where everybody presented their opinions. And then you could see, Galad's point of view on Perrin change throughout it. You can see Bornhald's point of view on Perrin change throughout it, right?
Yeah.
Even Bornhald is because, Perrin has this really great moment where he's like, I didn't kill him.
Yeah.
And like, why do you think that I did? And Bayer says, well, because you were there.
Yeah, you can't prove it. And Bornhold is like, wait, actually, yeah. Like, how do you know that he killed him? He's like, well, it's obvious, obviously.
And
like,
so,
okay, well, that's not good enough.
There's this really great, like, through line of showing all of these characters being honest in this scene.
Yeah.
And intelligent about how to handle it as, like, adults who have people who follow them. I think Morgase's ruling is very fair.
Yeah.
I think Galad shows an incredible level of fairness and also kind of a remarkable level of like gray morality for him. He doesn't swing the sword immediately. Like he always has in the past. I think that those conversations with Morgase since he got back together with his stepmom have really impacted him. And he seems like a much more reasonable person.
Yeah.
Which has been really nice.
Yeah, there's a couple people in chat who's saying that like when they read Galad, it comes off as like neurodivergent.
Why?
Well,
I don't understand that.
Well, I kind of do get it. Like Galad is like has like a very like set like regimented way that he sees the world, right? And it is we don't really know another character like that. Like when I read from his perspective, it definitely feels different than others. And like this like opening up of his world, he's still like keeping like himself in there, but it's through his own lens. I'm not saying that he was written that way intentionally, but I can definitely see why people think that because he like has his rules, he has his ways, he has like this like structure that he holds on to. Which, like, I think that there are a lot of neurodivergent people who have that as their, like, support system because there's a lot of other things in flux.
I think that we need to be careful in when we attribute things to characters. Mm-hmm. I think that we need to be careful about being like, they have this one thing that neurodivergent people have, so therefore I'm going to read them as that. I don't see that. I don't see a lot of textual evidence for that in this character.
Yeah, but there's also nothing wrong as reading him as neurodivergent. If that's how it like feels to you, like it's not said in the text, obviously.
But the reason why I push back on it is that having a black and white worldview isn't indicative of neurodivergency. There are plenty of people who have tenets that they cling to. Mm-hmm. Particularly within religious orders, right? And I think that saying like, oh, like that person sees the world in black and white, they're probably neurodivergent, isn't... I think that, I just think that neurodivergency is more complicated than that.
Oh,
and we
it always
online
is.
Boil it down to like, well, they've got this one thing that ADHD people have, so they're probably ADHD.
And I agree. I think that like there's a lot of talk about like, you know, there's this one thing, I must be such and such. And I like... The thing is, like, there's not really any, correct me if I'm wrong, any that I know of, like, neurodivergent representation in, like, a fantasy world. Even a fantasy world that's, like, futuristic based off of ours, right? Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that there's anything wrong with people, like, seeing if they are neurodivergent, like, some of themselves in this character and kind of relating to them on that level, right? And that's what a lot of, like, fantasy is, whether or not it has, like, a name. It could be as simple as, like, someone being, like, brave, and you're like, I feel like I relate to this person in this way because this. Putting the label on that character, I don't think is, like, negative. I think that you can just kind of interpret it the way that you'd like to interpret it because nobody really puts neurodivergent people into fantasy, right? Everyone's just typical. And I don't mean typical is a weird word for that, but I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I find there's like a... I think that I get nervous because we have this tendency right now to attribute things to characters because they're similar to us in a way. And so they have to be similar to us in all ways. And there's this online tendency to do this. And I for the most part, I think it's mostly a safe thing to do. But I find that it goes too far a lot. And I end up in a lot of conversations with people.
And that's fair.
Who like get upset if you don't accept their reading of it. Even though their reading of it comes from this, like, one attributable thing. Sure.
And I think that that's, like, that is a problem in general, like, the art. you didn't like this thing as much as I did. You didn't see this character the way that I did. You didn't like them this. I think that anyone who has that kind of view on art is maybe not the kind of person we would have conversations with about it, right? Because we'd be like, well, no, everything is subjective, right? And everything is going to be influenced by your own personal experience of life. If you don't know a ton of, like, neurodivergent people, maybe, like, when you're reading stuff, you don't see those traits in people that you read about. But, like, for people who have more of that in their lives, they can, like, pick it out and be like, oh, well, it's kind of interesting that this character has some similarities to either myself or this person that I know. Maybe they might be such and such, you know. I agree. Maybe. I think that, like, there is a such thing as, like, going too far and being like, no, obviously this person is this 100% because I interpreted this way. But yeah, I think, like, I see that, like, Brandon Sanderson in has some, like, neurodivergent characters in his works, so that makes me a little more excited to read it, honestly. But I think, yeah, like, having that open to interpretation be there for people who can maybe feel like there are other people like them, you know, maybe more than they think, I think is really important, especially in places where that's not talked about. It's like a bad, you know, we push that aside and we don't embrace those sides of ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So
yeah. I also think, like, I think that one of the things that I get my skin a little prickly about is that, like, neurodivergent is a really useful catch-all term that doesn't mean anything. Like being neurodivergent isn't a thing. It is an umbrella for a bunch of very different things.
Yes.
That don't all
that
have,
unfortunately is like have a lot of crossover.
But also have a lot of things that don't cross over, right?
Sure.
And I think that I think that, like, throwing terms under neurodivergent is a lack of specificity in something that I think deserves specificity and deserves like care and attention to detail when we talk about it. And so just kind of lumping things under neurodivergent when that can mean so many different things and is encapsulates so many different ways of our brains working and our emotional connections to one another, and being like, well, that's a neurodivergent trait. That doesn't really mean anything. Like, it can't be a neurodivergent trait because neurodivergent isn't a thing. It is an umbrella of a bunch of different human experiences.
Yeah, I think specifically, like, there are several people who read Galad as autistic. So that was, like, a specific example. And whether or not he is, who knows? Yeah. It doesn't, like, super matter. But yeah, that is such a big, broad term because, you know, like, bipolar is neurodivergent and bipolar is not really anything like autistic. Like, they're very, very different things. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's just, yeah, it's interesting. I am excited to read Sanderson.
Yeah.
Knowing that, like, there's a bit of that in there because, I don't know, it makes me feel nice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
No. But where were we? Oh my God,
we were in the trial. We were in the trial. We really liked the trial. I think Morghese handles it very fairly, and
because of the Koenig protocol.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm sure there's a history behind it.
I do love when Egwene or Morghese are like, I know way too much about my own history.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah,
and Galad is like, I will meet your judgment after the last battle, and Perrin's like, done, and Fael's like, the fuck he will.
Are you kidding me? No. Could you imagine, like, Perrin survives the last battle just for Galad to be like, off with his head! And Fael's like, really? I went through all of that? And he's still, like...
Yeah. I do love, though, that Perrin's like, you didn't name what the judgment was going to be. And Galad's like, I didn't. And he, like, swoops his cape over his shoulder.
So dramatic.
And walks away. And Berlain is just in the corner of the tent like, he's so hot! Ah!
You need to give headphone users a warning. Jesus Christ.
Headphone users, this show is the warning.
This is your blanket warning. Oh my God.
Have you ever seen me not yell at some point in this?
Yeah, is there a book club where you haven't
made some loud joke? Probably not.
Probably not. I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Chapter 35, The Right Thing. Perrin.
All the right moves in all the right places.
No, we actually start with Egwene here. Egwene and Swan are getting ready to fight the Forsaken Masana in Tel'aran'rhiod. And we get some payoff from what we talked about last week. With Egwene goes to Sylviana and is like, write Galad another letter, but be nice this time. And I'm like, Egwene, if the first letter was a concern, why did you send it?
Well, she probably didn't read it, right?
No, she tells Galad that she did.
What? No, she didn't.
Yeah, she says, I read the letter that Sylviana sent you, and I was worried that it was going to make you not come back.
No, she didn't say she read it. She said, like in her head, she was like, I know how Sylviana, like, talks to Gawain, so it probably wasn't very nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that she, like, read it word for word. I think she was like, Gawain hasn't come back, and Sylviana doesn't like him very much, so I can imagine that maybe this wasn't the nicest request.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't think it was like, oh yeah, I read the letter because the letter's gone, right? So she's like, hey, maybe send a nice request, you know?
Which you should have done the first time.
Probably.
The fucking Aes Sedai.
I mean, Sylviana.
But also the fucking Gawain. Like, what a little...
What a little bitch.
We cut over to Perrin, and Perrin's with Fael being like, take the Ashima to Whitebridge. Mm-hmm. And he goes into the wolf dream and is like, I don't understand what's going on, but that violet dome is stopping us from using gateways.
Yeah.
Yep. What did you think of this Tarangriel, now that we know what it does and what it is?
What do I think of it? Well, I mean, it's useful. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we see that here. Like, there's so we know there's two of them. Mm-hmm. So we know where one is. The other one is big old question mark. I have a feeling that's going to, like, be a problem at some point. Although
the last battle.
Although you did say you thought Morden was using the other one to shield his dreams, wherever he is.
Not his dreams, his base.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I mean, because we kind of talked about this in the reaction, I think, maybe, or maybe you and I just talked about this. I can't remember, but we talked about how Morden is very surprised when Rand is able to enter his dreams and is like, you shouldn't be able to be here. So, yeah, I think Morden is using the other one. Even though I don't remember anything about, like, a violet dome, but maybe I'm just misremembering. Maybe
I think it's in the blight.
Yeah.
So I don't think that anyone would have been there to see it.
No, Rand was there. I'm trying to remember what Rand saw.
Rand did not go to Tel'aran'rhiod. Rand was in Moradin's dreams.
Yeah,
that is Mind Spike isn't in Moradin's dreams. No. Tel'aran'rhiod and the dreams are two different places.
What? No?
Yeah. Okay, so there's three levels to the dream, right? So there's, like, our existence, and then there's Tel'aran'rhiod, which is, like, the mirror of our existence that's a little bit murky. And then there's the black space where all the dreams live. And then underneath that are all of the dreams, right? And so Rand went to Moradin's dream. He didn't go to Moradin's castle in Tel'aran'rhiod.
How do you know that?
Because Moradin's like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah, because of the dream spike.
But
maybe
the dream spike wouldn't stop him from going there.
Yeah, it says it stops people from entering your dreams. They say that specifically.
But that's still not Tel'aran'rhiod. That is still Moradin's dream, not Tel'aran'rhiod. Not the same thing.
How do you know he wasn't in Tel'aran'rhiod?
Because Morden says, how are you in my dreams? Not Tel'aran'rhiod. Tel'aran'rhiod is a place. Morden's dreams are his dreams.
It's still
but it's not Morden's dreams. It is. It's like a location.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
I mean, I just think that, like, the mention that the dream spike doesn't allow people into your dreams.
I don't remember that mention.
I swear it was mentioned.
I don't remember that mention, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I should have taken a picture of it, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Chad will be like, no, you're not remembering properly. But I could have sworn that they say that the dream spike stops people from being able to enter your dreams. Missana says it.
Does she?
Apparently. Apparently. Does have a little expo dump about it. Okay, sure. So you're right that it was in, like, Moradin's, like, dream, but the dream spike is supposed to be able to prevent people from entering your dreams.
Thought.
So
they're so connected that Moradin's dreams are also Rand's dreams.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah. But I think that's why he's like, you can't be here. I don't know. I don't know.
I think there's a quantum tunnel between their consciousnesses that goes through the Violet Dome. And it doesn't matter. Yes, I find the dream spike to be a very odd Tarangriel.
Yeah.
Who invented that and was like, okay.
Yeah, how the fuck did they make that? Did they make
it
in the dream world?
It will stop traveling in our world.
And that's the thing. Did they have to make it in the dream world? Did they have to make it in our world and then take it to the dream world? Like, how does it...
I also love that it's a lavender dome. It's like a very gay terrain grill. You know what I mean? It just makes a big lavender dome.
Love it. I'm here for it.
I'm into it. But, so we cut back to Galad from Perrin, and Galad and Bayer are fighting. They're fighting about Perrin because Galad is mad, and kind of rightfully so in the moment. I think that from Galad's point of view, or from Bayer's point of view, this makes a lot of sense. I think his anger and the way that he handles the situation, I don't agree with him, right? Like, I don't think he's right about Perrin, obviously. One of my favorite characters.
Right.
But I understand where Bayer is coming from. And the Arzu says, we are both correct, according to the wiki. I've never been to the wiki. I'm excited to go once we've...
well, and Lisa says there's a 3-hour Dusty Wheel discussion on this topic. So it's like...
Right, love it.
Oh, no, this is a... Wait, you mean they've already talked about it? Or are you saying we should go on the Dusty Wheel and talk about it?
I like Rantel Moore saying, this is all Brandon Sanderson being like, fools, magic systems need limiters. Yes, I agree with Brandon Sanderson. It is one of the fundamental things I believe about fantasy is that you have to have limits on your power. Or else, it's boring.
Gotcha. No, I agree. I think limitations breed creativity, so I think it's necessary.
NF says, I roll as if only gays, no color. Look, lavender's ours. We took it, and we made it ours. Okay?
Yeah, but the dome is violet, so...
Oh, gross. Yeah, that's a straight color for sure.
What? What do you mean?
I'm just saying shit to make people laugh.
Oh my god. So which colors are gay and which colors are straight?
If you listen to most people right now, all color is gay.
Fair enough.
If you put a rainbow on fucking anything,
I feel like mustard is a very straight color.
Mustard is very straight.
Very straight.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But aubergine is a very straight shade of purple.
Yeah. Same with like maroon.
Ooh,
maroon is very straight.
I'll give maroon to the straights.
Yeah. But
there really is like a dark. We're really picking out like dark, murkier versions of every color.
It's the jewel tones.
Anything without vibrance.
Guys, jewel tones are straight, and the pastels and the brights are gay. Sorry, that is what it is. Is mayonnaise a color? Yeah, the straights have that one.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
See here this Venn diagram of which colors are gay and straight. Anyways.
Corinne says the straights get autumn. The straights definitely get autumn because all of the gays are inside with their candles and a nice oat milk pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah. The gays get summer, Pride Parade and all that jazz, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, this has been ridiculous. So Galad and Bayer are fighting, and Galad is like, and Bayer's just being a little shit. And he leaves, and Galad turns to Bornhold is like, Bornhold, do you really think that Perrin killed your dad? And Bornhold's like, no.
No, I still hate him, no.
I'm like, so mad at him, but he probably didn't, which is tough because I've like kind of made that my whole personality.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do now because I've lived 2 years being like, I'm going to get this guy who killed my dad. And now I'm kind of realizing that maybe I wasted 2 years of my life. And that's kind of a hard thing to do when you're only like 20 and the world's about to end.
Yeah, you don't have many years left, so
yeah.
Arazu, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Arazu, thank you for 5 gifted members.
Let's go. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So much green in the chat. I love to see it. Y'all, if you're like, I've been here for a while and I've like never gotten a gifted membership, you do need to make sure that gifts are turned on so you can accept them. I don't know how to do that. Google is great. I genuinely do not remember. Just get stuff all over your face.
I tried to laugh and it like bounced out and it hit me in the eye.
I don't remember how to do it, but you do have to like turn on accepting gifted memberships for a specific channel. So yes.
I'm gonna say the color green that you get when you get your membership, very gay. I love Blue's comment. We're doing the book club an hour early because we got a flight to get on later. No, let's talk about which colors are gay.
We have like a quota to meet for tangents, so we're just trying to meet them early,
you know? Oh my god, yeah.
Anyways.
So we cut back to Perrin, and Perrin is in Teleran Riyadh with Oak Dancer, Sparks, and Boundless. And they go fight Slayer. And it's not good.
Doesn't go very well.
It is bad.
Slayer kills Oak Dancer.
Yeah.
They get fucked.
Yeah, and so Perrin is like, well, fuck this.
They find the rod.
Yep, he finds the brain. I thought it was the mind spike, but it's the dream spike. It's stuck in the ground, and he grabs it, and he starts running away.
Yeah.
And there's no way that this goes bad for anybody.
No, everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
And so we are back in the White Tower with chapter 36, an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are with Egwene, and Egwene is trying to be like, suss out who's going to help her in this fight. She's like, Nynaeve, if I die, will you lead the fight against Masana? And she's like, yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Jason Renner, thank you for that super chat.
Hello.
Popping in to say hi. Appreciate that.
I hope your Friday's going well.
Amber Eye says Mind Spike is a D&D spell. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you're reading a lot of D&D stuff right now. So.
I am currently getting ready for a Roleplay Relay. Kickstarter ends on Tuesday night, July 4th.
Yeah.
Celebrate the 4th of July by helping us put on 168 straight hours of Dungeons & Dragons.
Also, the art is looking so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it is.
If you want a signed poster, you have to sign up for the Kickstarter. Or if you want Snapchat access, you got to sign up for the Kickstarter. It's the only way to get it.
That Snapchat's going to be fun, so get in there.
It's going to be something.
And so she goes to a meeting, which is so funny because this meeting feels like it's like the most important thing that happens in this section. And it's also like one of the things I was least interested in.
I know, which is crazy, right?
Because there's this great fight going on with Slayer in the Tel'aran'rhiod. And we cut to like Egwene being like, so we're going to send you 2 apprentices. And the sea folk are like, okay, but we will send you 2 apprentices. And then the wise women are like, oh, but we also have apprentices. And I was like, what? But my boy is fighting a weird thing in Dream World, and this is so interesting, and this has so many complications, and I love what it's saying about Egwene because she's so smart, and the way she handles this is so cool. Fantastic. But like, what is happening with Perrin in the Dream World?
Yeah, it is one of those things where this scene is fucking great, but also there's so much like good shit going on now that it's like, okay, I gotta like, we're getting into that point where I gotta keep reading because I need to know what happens.
James Ross, thank you for joining the Narcs for 11 months.
Thank you.
This is why they took all the colors in The Giver, because people can't behave.
The Giver, is that a movie?
Have you never read The Giver?
Is it a book?
It is. They made it into a movie with Big Lebowski, right?
People take the colors?
It's complicated. Yeah, people don't like remember color. It's a weird world. Yeah, and then this kid starts to like see colors and becomes the giver. It's a very
no, never mind.
What?
It's like, does that have the Sixth Sense kid in it? But no.
No. The movie only came out like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. The movie's relatively recent. The movie was fun. The book is great though. It's a really good book.
All right, yeah, I don't know it, but I love it. Love to see it.
It's kind of like the same genre as like Divergent, but without the like romantic element of it being so strong.
Yeah. Okay.
It's sort of what I feel like The Giver is in a lot of YA writing. It's like the like precursor to that. Like if you took the Giver inspires so much of that stuff, and then Twilight kind of added the romance stuff, and everyone was trying to like do that thing afterwards.
Right. Okay. I got you. Turbach, we are going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons 5e edition just because it's the one we're most familiar with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we are looking forward to doing different like D&D variations, Pathfinder, other TTRPG stuff on the channel. So
Lee Science says such a depressing book to give to middle schoolers. It is true. I did read that in middle school, but I loved it. I love The Giver. All right, so basically they have this very important meeting. It's very cool. Egwene comes out of it looking like a fucking baller.
Yep.
And
she gets out of the fucking stupid bargain with
she fixes Nynaeve and Elaine's bargain.
Yep.
She even acknowledges
necessary.
It's like Nynaeve and Elaine did the best in a situation where things were bad.
Absolutely.
Everyone was going to die.
Yeah.
From the heat and the lack of water.
Yeah.
So Elaine and Nynaeve did save the world with that bargain.
Yeah.
We just need a new one to save the world a second time. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, hey, wise ones, can you stick around? The sea folk are still not relevant at all. I don't know what the point of them was in this whole series. Sorry, I just needed to take a moment to shit on them because I shit on them all the time.
I have a feeling they're gonna like affect the last battle in like a big bad way, and you're gonna eat your words.
I would fucking love that. You know me.
Oh, I know.
love being proved wrong at the end of stuff. Mm-hmm. But god damn it, have we gone down a long river with these fucking sea folk for them to just be the most pointless people in this entire series.
Yeah, I hear
There's nothing interesting about them. The Amayar thing happened, and like there was no fallout, there's no consequences to that. It hasn't meant anything to the books. A whole like race of people on this planet like committed mass suicide.
Oh yeah.
And like it was an aside that was meaningless to the books.
I hope that they all come back when the horn is blown.
It wouldn't mean anything.
We've got an army of the dead like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, there would be no value to that.
No, I know.
They don't mean anything.
I know. That was like probably the least exciting part of Lord of the Rings too, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sean says it could be worse. They could be the Tuatha On. How can you possibly compare those two things? The Tinkers are incredibly interesting. They're so tied into the Aiel's history with Ruidian.
Yeah, but we also don't spend copious amounts of time with them.
Our main characters got so many valuable lessons from the time they did spend with them, and the influence of the Tinkers on Perrin's arc is so massive. Yeah. Aram as a character and what went on with that, the Tinkers have been a much more like central piece to the puzzle of this story.
Yeah.
And particularly in their backstory. The problem for the Sea Folk is that there's no backstory. We don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And they've been in the book since book 2, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just want them to matter more. I just want the Sea Folk to like I want there to be a reason why they've been such a big part of like all these negotiations and things.
Yeah.
And it's not just, we needed something for the bowl, and then we kind of didn't have anything for them to do after that, so they were just a nuisance from then on. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're not my favorite, but, well, we'll see.
So they, they're going to have an intern exchange program, probably after the last battle, because last battle, Perrin is even like, I think we got a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah. This is going to be like an afterwards thing.
Yeah.
There's literally no fucking way.
And they're also agreeing that the Sea Folk can keep the Terangrials that they were loaned out, even though the Sea Folk were like, but these were given to us. And Egwene was like, you and I both know you're fucking lying right now.
Yeah.
Let's not do this.
Yeah.
I'm the goddamn Amerlin seat.
I'm the motherfucking Amerlin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, they have their, like, real meeting while there's, like, a fake meeting going on.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yeah, all cool shit. Like, I know it wasn't, like, the most, like, exciting part when, like, Perrin's doing his thing, but I still really loved this section. Then Swan is like, hey, we're fighting.
Yeah, one thing I want to talk about before we move on is the Aes Sedai are upset because they feel like they need to own all of the Terangrials.
Yeah.
And I really love...
They're fucking England.
But I love Egwene being like, first of all, how the fuck could we possibly do that?
Yeah.
Second of all, are we going to try and tell the Ashaman that male Ongrails and Songgrails and Tarangrials are ours and not theirs? Like, do you really want to have that fight about objects that we won't even be able to detect?
To use? Yeah.
Well, not even use. Like, literally won't know that they exist, like, that they work.
You could maybe, like, look at something and be like, you know what, that looks suspicious. Like, Terangrial kind of, like, have, like, a vibe to them sometimes. But, yeah, you wouldn't fucking know. Maybe Aviendha would know, but...
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I think that this is a really great sequence of Egwene's...
Stop being so fucking selfish.
But Egwene coming at this from the perspective of, like... What do you really think is going to happen here, right? She does a lot of... Or at least Brandon Sanderson has written her to do a lot of bringing up very obvious truths and then just being like... And then just waiting, right?
Yeah.
And the women around her all kind of go... Oh yeah, Egwene's right. She said the most obvious thing in the fucking world.
Yeah.
But just by like putting voice to these really obvious things, she's changing people's minds a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a really strong tactic, and it gets into why she's being so successful at leading the White Tower right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. I think like what Brandon Sanderson's art for Egwene has been since he took over has made her a much more interesting leader. And I think that he handles writing her really well.
Yeah.
Obviously from Robert Jordan's notes or some of Robert Jordan's writings, but
yeah.
I just think that like Egwene has become a really intelligent leader without being condescending in the way that so many Aes Sedai have been in the past.
Yeah.
And I think that's why she's being so successful, right? She's not demeaning people in order to have power, the way that Cat Swain does, and the way that all these other Aes Sedai characters,
even Swan did sometimes. You know, Swan was guilty of that.
She does not look to her role models for her behavior, and she's finding so much success where they found nothing but failure and a broken tower and mistrust, right?
Yep.
And so she's learning the things she needs to from those mentors, but at the same time is going about things in her own way, in a way that I think is just really successful at community building.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive what she's doing.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I love it. I understand why people love Egwene.
Yeah. Because there were parts where we didn't.
Yeah.
I put her in the F tier after Fires of Heaven.
I remember.
Perrin, we cut back to Perrin, and Perrin is running from Slayer. He's got the spike. He's like, I don't know what to do with it. Maybe the best place to take it is a majorly populated city.
Well, he just kind of like looks over and is like, oh, Tarvalon. Yeah, I can hide
I'm sure
in there.
Egwene isn't using traveling there. I'm sure Tarvalon is in a city that... I kind of would have loved if the timing of this had been different. And
Egwene's trying to get supplies in and out, and suddenly they're like, where are the gateways?
No, if it had been before Egwene won, and Egwene won because the siege was successful, because Aleda was stopped being able to bring in food because the dream spike was there.
Oh my god, that would have been hilarious.
But yeah, so Perrin accidentally runs the mind spike into Tarvalon at the exact same time that the girls are going to war against Missana in Tarvalon. The end of this chapter was the moment where, because I read it way before you did, and we were reacting to this. We did like an audiobook reaction, so I had to wait for you to catch up before we could listen. And I was like, have you read the book yet? Have you read the book yet? I need to know what happens in Tarvalon. Have you read the book yet?
Yeah.
Have you
read
the book yet?
We have to react to this.
I didn't even care about the reaction. I was like, I need to know what happens in Tarvalon. Have you read the book yet?
Yep.
She hadn't. I was frustrated.
I did, you know? It took me a day.
Chapter 37, Darkness in the Tower. We started this chapter that we wanted to know what was happening in the White Tower, and it starts with Gawain sitting in Camelin, and we both went, what?
Fuck. I know. We were like, God damn it. But yeah, Gawain realizes that, you know, he's kind of in a little shit. So he goes to see Elaine to say goodbye, and Brigitte's like, no.
Yeah.
You can't go in there. She's sleeping. And he's like, okay, well, bye, I guess. So yeah, he's like going to Tarvalon because he's like, wait, the Blood Knives are gonna be like waiting to strike at a good moment, and that could be right now, so better get going. And he gets a gateway made for him that like winks out of existence just a little too close for comfort, and he's like, wow, what the fuck, like she almost tried to fucking kill me, and it's like, no, it's the dream spike. Surprise!
Immediately. It was so cool. But I also like the idea that there's just channelers like sitting in the fucking like whatever the area is. I was gonna say the stables, but I don't think their channeling room is the
No, they have like a room.
I just love that there's like a woman there who's like,
yeah.
Where do you wanna go? Sure. And done. Oh my god. She's just sitting there all day like I don't what a boring job anymore. To just be like Tarvalon.
Yeah.
Kyrian.
Boom. I don't know. I wouldn't find... you know what? I probably would find that boring after a while.
You would find it boring almost immediately.
Yeah.
One day of sitting there just opening gateways, oh my god.
Yeah, I think I would lose my mind. You're right.
Unless it was like... Unless I could like read... If I could have like a really good book with me, you know, just sit there with a good book.
The whole time. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Maybe I could read The Wheel of Time. It would give me the time to finish this 4 million word fucking series.
God damn it. We get Egwene. Egwene, they were like discussing a false plan, and then the Black Aja attacked, and like 2 of the Aes Sedai are dead. And so Egwene's like, get out of here, but they can't because the dream spike. Fucking Perrin, just, you know, messing up people's plans. And then Amis is like, yeah, we also can't leave either. This is fucking weird. So we're gonna stay, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, they really quickly realize that you can move within the dome, but you can't leave the Thunderdome. Masana. And so the killer music kicks in, and the fight is on. We cut over to Perrin. Perrin and Slayer have a little chat. You know, a little mid-fight chat like you do. Perrin's like, what's up, Slayer? And Slayer's like, Luke hates you, man. And I was going,
like, what the fuck?
I was a little bit worried that Slayer was going to die before I really understood what was going on with Slayer.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. I honestly, like, listening to this and reading it, I did not think that Slayer was going to die in this section.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like there has to be a confrontation with Lan first. Because of their connection. So
the series just has a history of killing off every villain in the first time we get, like, a real fight scene with them, so...
maybe, yeah.
It was wonderful that Slayer survived, because there's, like, still... There's, like, one villain who can survive a fight.
Yeah, I mean, Grendel's still alive.
Grendel's never really been in a fight, though.
Sure.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. It's really Grendel and Slayer.
Is Shamael's still alive in Moradin?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think Slayer was gonna get taken down here because the connection with Lan hasn't had any kind of payoff or confrontation. Like there's nothing has happened with that yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I don't think Slayer is in danger in this section. But I do think that they are gonna get the Terangrial. So.
Yeah. We cut back over to Gawain. And Gawain runs to Egwene's room, and a couple of his guys run up beside him, and he's like, I didn't say anything. And they're like, when someone looks like that, you
don't say anything.
Yeah. Sometimes you see someone and you're like, that person needs help.
Yeah. And I was like, I love that. You know what?
Yeah. And so they go into Egwene's room, and there's a maid tied to the ceiling. Shit's bad. And Gawain got there just in time.
Yeah.
Because he's like, okay, you motherfucker, you go get more people, Clark with me. We're going to go fight some shadows.
I honestly, for the moment that I heard it, when he was like, there's a maid in the ceiling, I was like, Masana? But it obviously, it wasn't. They're in like the dream world. But I was like, oh, that would have been kind of funny if Masana actually got caught in a trap. But no, blood knives. Very scary. Very, very scary.
Yeah, they're cool. And this fight is really awesome. It's really sad that Clark dies.
Well, both. Yeah, they both die.
Do we see Mazone die?
Well, you see his body in the hallway, right? Because he was supposed to go get help. And then the third blood knife comes in. And it's like, okay, shit's going down.
I really like the way this whole fight is written. I love the moment where he's like, douses all the lights. And he's like, you can't hide if they're in the shadows if there's no shadows.
Yeah.
And then he fights fucking, like, sightless.
Oh my god, I know. That, yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. It's so well written.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping he was going to die here. I thought that would be really interesting. But he does manage to win the fight, but is mortally wounded and is leaning against his lover's bed like, Queen,
help me. Yeah. You called it. You were like, oh no, she's going to like bond him to save him because he's so injured.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we learned from Brigitte.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, look, we've talked a lot about consent on the show and the consent around the water bond.
Yep. I'm
just going to say, if I am dying of mortal wounds, blanket consent. Make me a warder. Yeah, I don't care.
That's fair.
Just want to lay that out there.
Yeah.
I would rather work for a hot, eternal lady of magic than die.
And to be fair, Gawain, there is a moment of consent written in for both of them.
That is true. That is true.
Very nice to see, you know. Obviously, like, you know, I think the Brigitte situation was, like, unique. And it is a situation that does arise, like, in, like, medical situations nowadays, right? It's like, do you save this person or, like... What?
You said Brigitte situation is a situation that...
Sorry, similar to. Like, is
similar?
There's, like, a parallel where perhaps, like, because
you know all of those modern doctors dealing with people being ripped out of Teleran-Riad into the real world with mortal wounds, and so you need to bond them to you forever in order to save their life because they've been made real too soon without being birthed by a womb.
Yeah.
So, you know 100%. What? There's so many parallels.
It happens all the time.
That it really is. It's the strain on our healthcare system. Truly, is all of these doctors,
all of these
dealing
with people
with
ripped out of Teleran,
heroes of the Horn being pulled out of Teleran-Riad at the wrong time.
Yeah, or the wheel, or wherever Brigitte was hanging out.
I'm sure all of the doctors in our audience are just like, yeah, this happens to me every day.
Yeah, it's been a guys.
Guys, I just want to say, everyone, hang your pots and pans out your window and bang them together at 7 p.m. tonight for all of the doctors on the front line of dealing with people who have been ripped out of Teleran-Riad, a common occurrence that doctors in 2023 are dealing with.
Yeah, Guys, it's rough out there. Stay safe. Stay safe.
There's a lot of parallels between modern medicine and what happens with Brigitte.
100%. It's very common, actually. The chat is confirming, right? They're like, yeah, it happens to me all the time. It's just crazy. It's wild out there.
I don't even know what you were trying to say with that.
Well, what I was trying to say is like the consent thing can be a problem when like trying to save somebody's life, right? Either like
it's not actually. We have like a pretty robust system for how that works, but
I just mean like for example, there are certain religions or like spiritual beliefs that conflict with like medical practices, and like maybe like a doctor like doesn't know that and does some kind of like procedure that's like not that they would never have consented to, but they were like injured, couldn't consent. There's like people get injured and they're not able to be conscious or make medical decisions for themselves, and doctors have to make choices like they have to do whatever that they can do, and Elaine was kind of put in a position where there was like something she could do, even though the person who was like dying couldn't consent to whatever was happening, right? Obviously, a water bond in your head with lifelong consequences is probably not on the table. I don't know. I say probably. Maybe it's happened out there, but
yeah.
Yeah, I just mean like that's a tough situation, and it was represented in a really interesting way with Brigitte and Elaine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
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 What?
Nothing. It was just very funny for you. That just made me laugh. I enjoyed. There's a lot of parallels between modern medicine and what happened with Brigitte.
In the U.S., you could be bonded for life to your medical debt, so that is actually like pretty close.
I would much rather be Cod Swain's warder than have medical debt in the United States.
Woof. Yeah, woof.
Yeah, we did. I definitely lived in the States without insurance for 7 years, which was great because I would just go to work sick. That's the healthy thing to do when you work in food service, right?
Yeah.
I literally didn't have a choice. Like I would lose my job. Like now that I'm in a position where I don't have to do that, I feel so lucky. Like I'm very grateful. But like I didn't have health insurance and I was barely getting by, and I worked in a restaurant. And if I was sick, I would just be sick at work because what was I going to do? Lose my job? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's bad. We cut over to Perrin. Perrin and Slayer still fighting. They're still bopping around. They're bopping, twist it. They're doing a little bit of a
bop it, twist it, flick it, pull it. Bop it.
They're called bop its?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's narcissistic.
Yes, Sir Bop created a bop it. Like what?
Sir Bop is a pretty good name. The big bad of the Real Play Relay should be named Sir Bop.
I don't actually know who bought that for the relay, so I don't know what
Sir Bop would definitely be what George Lucas would name a DJ in Star Wars.
Sir Bop?
Yeah.
A droid DJ?
From the man who created Sleaze Bogano, the drug dealer. Sir Bop would be the DJ name.
100%. Absolutely.
Sir Bops a lot. Guys, I think that's what I need to call myself. I need to be Sir Bops a lot.
Why?
Because I feel like that's a good name for me. I come up with songs. I like sing intros.
Yeah. It's always a bop.
Sir Nerdy Bops a lot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, wait, that's my new channel name. Come on over to Sir Nerdy Bops a lot.
Rant on Voices, the puzzle I sponsored will have to be Bop It themed.
Oh my God.
Yes. You too can send in your own puzzle if you support the Roleplay Relay with the Kickstarter.
Having people pass around a Bop It at the table as a puzzle in D&D is such a funny idea.
That would actually be very funny. We could buy one.
Oh my God. And like the longer you go, the like fewer enemies you have to fight or some shit. Like we come up with like a puzzle that's Bop It related.
I had to do a puzzle in my other campaign where one person had to do a logic puzzle to like close this portal.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Bear on roller skates. There's podcast listeners who'd be like, did my car just stop? What's going on? Bear on roller skates. That is definitely the largest super chat I've ever seen in my life. Holy fuck. Thank you so much. And it's your first one.
Wow.
Long-time listener, first-time super chatter. Morally ambiguous characters land here too on hit a lot differently for the cynical nihilistic Gen Xers like me who were RJ's original audience. P.S. Valon is a hardcore adult ADHD. P.P.S. Shout out to Deadsy and other Wattisms and Watmania alums. Baron Rose Case, thank you so much.
Wow.
I do not have words at the moment.
Thank you for the super califragilisticexpialidocious chat.
And I appreciate you sharing your perspective on Lanfear and Tuon. I can definitely see what you're talking about there, and I think that's a really interesting point of view.
Sure. Yeah. No, I hear that, and also the idea of like Valon being ADHD and just hyper focusing on the dark one and like the dark friends. That rings true. You know, like I feel that. Wow. Watmania is that?
I don't know what Watmania is. Was there a wrestling league for people who like the Wizard of Time?
The Wizard of Time? The Wizard of Time? The Wizard of Time?
The Wizard of Time!
Why? Oh my god, where did that come
from? The super chat threw me off!
Hey, Holly.
What'd you expect?
Guys, Holly Wolf, go follow her on YouTube. She's downstairs right now, actually. And it's probably like, the fuck is going on? Because Holly's coming with us to LA, so we're going to... Wow, I have literally never seen a super chat. Wow, Bear, I'm so sorry. Bear...
And I'll stand there with the wizard.
Bear on roller skates. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that.
That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. Wow.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Cool. Well, that's our show. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the next...
No! We're just going to stop because... No.
How do we... Okay, come on. We need to get back on the rails.
Yeah, okay.
We need to find the... These are the rails? We need to get on them.
Or
get on them. Now you're on them. On the rails? Off the rails.
Wait,
on the rails? Off the rails? You know what I mean?
No,
we need to get on the rails.
Okay.
Like a train?
I'm in.
Do you know what a train is?
No.
Okay, so a train is like a locomotive that pulls a series of cars.
Oh, they have that in the Wheel of Time.
They have the locomotive. They haven't really built the rest of it yet, but we're getting there.
Okay,
so we need to get the train on the rails.
Okay.
And you're off the rails.
You said the steam whatever thing in the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
They have to put it on like a track.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Okay.
Welcome
Cool.
back to welcome back to this.
Welcome back. We're good.
On the rails. We're on the rails.
Yes, Bear, thank you so much. I don't know if I will fully ever recover from that, but I really appreciate it. So
Marisa just says get railed. God damn it.
Get I mean, I think we would get taken off YouTube. Like, I don't think the stream, like, I think we'd get taken down.
Do you know who the Wizard of Time is though, right?
I thought you were going for a Wizard of Oz reference.
No, but you know what the Wizard of Time is, right?
No.
You don't know the Yu-Gi-Oh card Wizard of Time?
No.
Oh my god, wait. I have to derail the podcast for one more second.
Holly! Would you like to read Holly's comment?
Mom and Dad getting railed upstairs, my eyes in here.
Sorry, Holly. Sorry. Go for a walk.
Oh, it's the Time Wizard. Look at this little guy.
What the fuck
He's
is that?
so cute.
Sure. That looks like a children's toy.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but the Time Wizard is a very useful card. And I love him very much.
I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, so.
You've never seen an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
We should do Yu-Gi-Oh reactions.
No,
we should. It'd be so fun.
So there are rails.
Believe in the heart of the cards. The heart of the cards, Yugi.
You are here.
You've got to believe in the heart of the cards.
The rails are right here.
The heart of the cards, Yugi. Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh is without a doubt Taviran. He has to be Taviran.
Sure, you know what?
No one but a Taviran could pull Exodia.
Why don't we just fucking react to all of Pokemon while we're at it? Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
But it's one, 50-hour YouTube video.
No.
The heart of the cards, Rand. You must believe.
You're already going to do One Piece. How the fuck are we going to have time for anything else?
I don't like having a life, okay? I just want to watch anime and get yelled at by weebs on the internet who don't have sex.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. Now I want to know what was that?
Whatmania.
I want to know what that is.
All right, we need to move on. Sorry.
We do have a flight to
Bears
catch.
on roller skates. You're the fucking best. Thank you so much. Where were we?
We were in Teleran Riyadh. Perrin and Hopper,
Perrin and Hopper fight Slayer.
They're fighting.
Back to Egwene.
Yeah.
Egwene, she kills Mestra.
Yeah.
Right away. Boom.
Yeah.
And then she imagines that Evan Elaine is just real dumb.
Really dumb.
And then she is.
Yeah.
Victory. Yeah.
Nailed it. So Masana shows up and tries to control Egwene, and Egwene is like, nah, bitch, and runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah, she runs into Nynaeve.
They come up with a plan where they're back to back, bopping into a hallway, just blasting. And they do this a couple of times, and then suddenly a wall falls and 6 women attack him. Bayer's like, you fucking idiot! If you showed your strategy, you got to be fucking random as shit in Teleran Riyadh.
I love that Bear is literally part of the fucking background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is not invisible, but just is the colors and textures of the walls or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, but I also love that they're crouching. There's a moment where the wise women are peeping out of shadows, and they're just we're here too. And then they disappear again.
Yeah. Then the wall explodes.
Yeah.
And then Perrin and Hopper they run into Egwene.
Yeah.
They're chasing Slayer. And Egwene is like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? No. The first thing that happens is Perrin is like, Egwene, it's really dangerous. You shouldn't be here. And Egwene is like, what?
I'm the motherfucking ambulance seat. You shouldn't be here.
I'm a dreamer. All right. God damn it.
Well, and it's funny. What I think is funny about this is that the wise ones have the mentality of Teleran Riyadh does not have to be for channelers, right? We know that there are wise ones with them right now who are not channelers.
Yes, and it's the time it takes for the women to weave. That is the time that they get killed.
That's not what I'm talking about right now, though.
Oh,
what I'm specifically talking about is Egwene is how are you here?
Right.
And I think that it's the fucking audacity of these characters to continue to be well, only women can do this. And it's why? Why do you think that, right? And
I mean, she doesn't say that. It's not only women can do this, but she does not know how he can be there.
100%. But if there are women who can't channel, who can go to Teleran Riyadh, you just have to assume there are men who can too.
Totally.
Right? It doesn't make sense for that to be a gendered thing.
Yeah.
Her being you shouldn't be here, totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
And she's like, ropes. And Perrin is like...
Yeah, I do like that Perrin seems to be stronger in Teleran Riyadh than any of them.
Yeah.
Because I think his connection to it is more naturalistic. Mm-hmm. Right? I think that it's more based on his power seems to be almost more directly tied to that world than hers is.
Yeah.
Whereas she's more of an interloper there, and he is believing himself to be there fully.
Oh, yeah, and someone tries to balefire them, and Perrin is like, no. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, and I kind of wish that moment had come up later when Masana gets the Adam on Egwene.
Yeah.
I kind of wish she'd been like, hey, if Perrin can block balefire here...
It's just a weave.
Yeah, it would have been It would have been a nice moment to touch on Egwene acknowledging learning from the boys.
Yeah, well, and she hasn't seen Perrin since also book 2 or 2, maybe? I don't know.
But yeah, so the Masana probably fake Masana balefires. And
Is
Perrin...
it? No, I don't. I think it's just someone.
I think it's fake Masana.
It just says a woman, so...
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because then the wall collapses and she dies. So whoever it was, not important.
So he basically pulls a Yoda from the prequels, and he just kind of puts his hand out, and the balefire goes... Psh.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you just stopped balefire! And he's like, it's just a weave, Egwene. And Perrin has never been sexier in his fucking life than when he's looking over his shoulder being like, it's just a weave.
Just a weave, baby.
Boop! And he boops out of there. Fucking love Perrin here. It's a really, really, really great moment.
Yeah.
So we cut back to Gawain. Gawain is still fighting, and he takes wound after wound after wound, and he kills the last one and then slumps over. Masana, holy shit, there's so many point of views in this chapter.
Yeah,
Masana,
this one bops around.
Yeah.
But in a way that was still, like, cohesive. Like, I liked it.
Oh, no, it totally made sense. It got to all the point of views that I wanted it to. It wasn't, like, cutting to Iturralde in the fucking, like, north. You know what I mean? Like, it was very focused on this fight and this, basically shit that happened under the dome.
Yeah.
And Masana is talking with Katerin. This is where, this is where Masana makes Katerin look like her.
Oh, yes. Called it.
Masana gets excited about the prospect of having a dream spike. And so she wants to know where Egwene got it from.
Yeah. Even though Egwene doesn't have it and doesn't even know about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got fake Masana, which someone said, Preston says Fasana. We got Fasana walking around, which is actually Katerin. And then we jump back to Perrin. And Slayer throws Hopper off of the tower.
Yeah, stabs him and then throws him.
Yep.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
And Perrin, like, full on, like, does not Andrew Garfield it. You know what I mean? He Tobey Maguire's it. He catches him, gets him safely to the ground, but he breaks his leg.
Well, no, he doesn't. I thought the arrow went through his leg. Or did he also break his leg?
Doesn't he, like, land and his leg is fucked up and then Slayer stabs him in the stomach?
No, but Slayer shoots and the arrow goes through Hopper into Perrin's leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he hurts his leg. He does catches him.
Yeah. And so Hopper is
Hopper
barely hanging on there.
Hopper dies again. Yeah. But Hopper's, like, actually dead this time.
Well, Perrin has a moment with him before he actually dies.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's a really sweet moment.
That's not here. That is a bit later on, but, like, yeah. And as this was happening, we were kind of like, no, Hopper's not gonna make it, because Hopper's had this, like, teacher role, and that has been fulfilled, and so Hopper being a loss isn't, like, unsatisfying because there was no, like, arc that was left hanging there, but it is incredibly sad and heartbreaking and a pivotal moment for Perrin, and, you know, does help set some of the stakes of, like people dying. Like Hopper is permanently dead. He's not in the wolf dream anymore, right? When he did the second time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I got that question. Like, people were like, do you think that this moment raises the stakes in the way that you wanted? And I don't. I think that it does. I think that it's good for Perrin's arc. I don't necessarily think that this, like, changes the stakes of the last battle in the way that I think people want me to say that it does.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because I definitely felt like the stakes were rare. I
hate you.
Sorry, I can't. We love some steak. No, I definitely felt like a shift.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. And it was one of those things where it's like, I kind of knew it was coming and it kind of made sense. But, they still did it. There was still the follow-through, and for what it means for Perrin, that changes him as a person, and we see it change him as a person. Yeah,
I think it is still an element, though, of this series still has our heroes win.
Yep.
And, like, Hopper dies.
Slayer got away, so...
Slayer gets away, but the Dream Spike is destroyed.
Yeah.
And Masana dies, right? Like, there's... Yes, there are some wolves who are dead, and that is very sad.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that, like, the Dark Ones won this one. You know what I mean? They clearly lost.
Yeah.
And, you know, Slayer getting away does mean that he can fight another day, which is fun, because I actually find the fighting with Slayer really interesting and fun to read.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think it necessarily... It still gets into my issue with the series of I just want I want the dark side to win something at some point.
Yeah.
And, like, killing Hopper isn't a win. It is not a sacrifice, but it is a martyr situation for the fight of the good side.
Yeah.
But the good side still wins this encounter, right? And I really want I don't know what the rest of this book holds. I think it's badness for Andor, because Elaine seems to be underserved in the last two books. And it kind of feels like everybody's getting something. in these 2 books to set them up for the last book. I feel like Perrin's stuff is mostly done. I feel like Rand's stuff is mostly done and set up, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Egwene's stuff is mostly done and set up.
Yeah.
And so this last section to me, the 2 characters who still have things that need to be accomplished before we can get to the final book are Matt with the Tower of Genji and Elaine with this invasion of Andor. And I think the Tower of Genji is going to go well.
Yeah, well,
and I think the invasion of Andor, I hope to God, is the thing that goes poorly.
Yeah, they have to get to the tower. Like this book is called Towers of Midnight.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we kind of have to get to the Tower of Genji in this book, but who knows? So we'll see. We'll see.
Pied Piper Guy, have a safe flight. We'll be joining in the air in a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ember Eye says, I was spoiled for Hopper's death by the AOT guy last week. I am very sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. We've walked away from Attack on Titan because it's just gotten ridiculous. But.
Yeah. We just, it does.
Yeah. But I'm really sorry to hear that, Ember Eye.
Sorry.
It was a big moment. But yeah, it was well done. But yeah, no, I definitely, I'm hopeful. I just want the bad guys to win something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Anything in these books. I just want them to win one thing.
Yeah.
And, like, yes, Hopper's death is tragic and sad and really well written, but it doesn't raise the stakes for me because the good guy still got the win in the end.
Yeah, no, I don't think it, like, goes, like, fully, like, and I think that's where you're coming from. But I did feel that there was a shift for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean says, seriously, not even started the journey to Genji yet is frustrating. I was hoping that was going to be... There just isn't a lot of book left.
Here's the thing. I haven't personally found it frustrating because Matt dealt with the golem.
Yeah.
Like, there's been shit that's happening. It's not like Matt is just sitting around and waiting. If it was a lot of nothing, which, you know, kind of felt like in the slog, sometimes that was the case. Like, Matt's been doing things, and so I haven't felt that frustration, but I hear you because I do want to get to that point.
I agree with that. I also think that I don't really see the point in bringing Moiraine back for just the last battle.
Really?
Yeah, I just think it's like, if you were going to do it, I would want her to come back and, like, I just don't know what One More Aes Sedai does for the last battle.
Moiraine also coming back is a problem for Elaine.
Why?
Because Moiraine has a claim to the throne of Cairhien.
She's been running from that claim for 26 years.
Oh, no, 100%. 100%.
Moiraine is not a problem. Moiraine will never... If Moiraine thinks that there is a 1% chance that stepping in Cairhien will make her queen, she will evade that country until the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
If it means moving to Shara and becoming a 7-year ruler of Shara, she will avoid becoming the queen of Cairhien more than any fucking human alive. She does not want that post. Elaine is not in any danger.
Okay. If Elaine is attacked in Andor and this whole situation goes very, very poorly, Rand having Moiraine as a queen or temporary leader of Cairhien to lead them into the last battle, I don't think is out of the question. Because if Elaine is trying to get the Sun Throne and can't because Andor gets fucking wrecked, right? Like we say might happen.
Yeah.
Someone's got to bring the Cairhiens to heel. And that person might be Moiraine. I'm just saying,
sure.
I don't think it's out of the question. Although, you know, she is dead. People think she's dead. People would have to, like, know that she was back. And, like, I don't know how that would happen.
I think the last battle is going to supersede that.
Probably, yeah.
I also am kind of the mind right now that the last battle... I wish that Elaine wasn't going to still be pregnant for it if it's in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's kind of unfortunate she's going to be kind of, like, sidelined by that, but...
Yeah.
Or she'll be there pregnant, and that'll feel weird.
Well, no, because the babies are at a point where she can feel them kicking, but other people can't. So I'm assuming she's, not far. Like
she's only like 4 or 5 months in.
Yeah.
She's like halfway.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
So we get to the next chapter.
Yes.
Perrin jumps into a nightmare with Slayer, hoping that he'll get the upper hand in the nightmare. We cut back to Egwene, and Egwene, the battle is raging. Shit's getting blown up. She pops into a room, and who's there? Nicola. Who dies immediately? Nicola. Fucking sad.
That was sad.
Nicola hurt me more than Hopper did. Because Hopper at least was an old wolf. He got to live a full life, and then he got to live some time in the Teleran Riyadh. Yes, he's dead forever. It's very tragic. But Nicola's a kid who's just trying to live up to these people she looks up to and wants to be helpful. That hurts more to me. Like, you know, the life cut short is so tragic there.
Yeah. And I think
because she's trying to do the right thing.
Well, and what makes it especially tragic for me is that Nicola is basically our main characters without the hero shields, right?
Yeah.
All of our main characters tried to overreach, you know, tried to do more than they maybe could handle, and they succeed. They succeeded. You know, some of them are Treviran, some of them got lucky. So there is so much about Nicola that is also similar in our main characters, and Nicola is the one who dies. And it was just, it was really tragic. You know, she's got like at least 300 years ahead of her. Well, I don't know, 300 change. I don't know. But like,
yeah.
And she was, you know, she had some talents as well. She was like motivated, and she learned lessons where she did the wrong thing and changed her mind. Like, and so it was just, that was sad.
Yeah, people like, she's 26. I thought she was like 22, but a 22-year-old to me is a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also 26, if your lifespan is 250 and you live to 26, you live 10% of your life. That's still rough. That's still young.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's pretty rough.
Hopper was an older wolf already.
True.
But this moment with Nicola feels to me like, oh well, somebody has to die in this fight, and this is a character that isn't as important, and so but Nicola can die.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but I think it was a very intelligent choice on the author's part. You know.
Yeah, I just wish it was someone more important. I was kind of thinking like a Swan, a Leanne. Leanne would have been a good one here. Just someone a little. I want the stakes to be higher.
I know.
And so for me, like, Nicola is a tragic death that is also kind of a, like, we can kill Nicola because she's not that important.
Well, and there's a couple named Aes Sedai who die, but, like, they don't really mean anything. Like, I was like, oh, sad. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. No, I hear you.
But we do end up fighting Masana. Egwene gets pulled down, and it's Egwene versus Masana.
Yeah, she puts an Adam on
goes
her.
Around the neck.
And Egwene starts panicking.
As she should.
Yeah.
And then she's like, wait, I'm in fucking Teleran, Riyadh. There is no collar. Just like there is no war in Ba Sing Se. And Masana's like, where the fuck is Boss? Wait, what did you say about the collar? And then Egwene snaps her brain with her brain.
Yeah.
Shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Just like fucking goes, and then Masana's like, and she's like, and Masana's like,
pretty much, yeah.
It's
pretty much
rad.
Yeah. Matt Dakuna also says you look like Miller. Hi, Dakuna.
Oh.
From Expanse, not your sibling.
I was like, really?
Not your sibling. No.
I don't see that.
Oh my god.
I don't think Miller would ever allow themselves to have a beard like this.
Probably not.
I feel like I did kind of go for like the Miller haircut, but I'm digging it.
I like it.
Mine is a little less greasy than his, so I think it works a little bit better.
Well, it's also shorter, like on the top. Like his is like full floof, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she just snaps, and then she fucking...
Her mind is broken.
She picks up Masana's corpse with the power, teleports upstairs, and then parades it around the room. And everyone's looking at it like, who's that? Oh, it's Masana. And they're like, oh, cool.
Like, oh, damn.
And one of the wise ones is like, I've seen this before. She's probably, like, literally shitting herself.
Yeah. She's never going to do anything ever again. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, Egwene is ruthless.
Well, and it's interesting because, like, she's not dead, so the Dark One can't bring her back.
Yes.
So she's stuck in limbo until after.
Yeah, they need to balefire that body.
Yeah.
Get that out of the timeline. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another Forsaken down.
Another one bites the dust.
First fight down. It is the trend. Which Forsaken will be able to win a fight? Coming up next time on The Wheel of Time, Book 14, can the Forsaken get fucking anything done? We'll find out next time in October.
Oh no, it's so far away.
We're going to be here every week talking about The Wheel of Time, and we're going to have so much fun.
I know, I am excited.
I'm so excited to dive back into the season 1 of the show.
Me too.
And try and not be too harsh on it.
Good luck.
I know. We cut back to Perrin. Perrin is racing through a nightmare version of Tarmangaden fighting Slayer. And the ground beneath him in the nightmare opens up, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's a dream volcano!" And he throws the dream spike into the dream volcano. No more dream spike.
No more dream spike.
And so fucking Slayer's like, "God damn it, I fucked up," and he runs away like a little baby, like a little coward.
Yeah.
And Perrin goes back to Hopper and holds him as he dies.
Yep. Yeah.
It is, as the kids say, tragic.
Yeah, that one sucked. I was like, no, poor Hopper. And I just like Perrin afterwards. Perrin's having a rough go of it, and he deserves better.
There's a lot of Lord of the Rings references throughout the series. How did you feel about this?
Cast it into the fire!
I liked this one.
Me too. I love it.
It definitely felt like a callback to Lord of the Rings in a way that wasn't as direct as some of the book one stuff was.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was a really nice this was a really nice way to homage a series that definitely inspired this series, but do it in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. And the dream element of it, I thought, was just really successful. I thought this whole fight with Slayer, Hopper, and Perrin was really good. And I was just riveted by the whole thing.
Yeah.
We cut to Egwene, who wakes up, finds Gawain there, and is like, "No, you're gonna die unless I bond you."
Hot. And he's like, "Only if you want to." She's like, "Of course I want to." And it's sweet.
It's cute.
It's
a good moment.
It's sweet. And he's like, "You didn't light enough lanterns." And she's like, "What the fuck?"
And so we cut back to Perrin, and Perrin wakes up, and Fail and Masuri are looking over him, and he's like, "I'm good.
Hopper's dead, you know." Because Fail is like, you're sad. And he's like, "Yeah, Hopper died." And she's like, "I'm so sorry."
But we kind of get the news that because of what he did, his people are safely moving their asses to Whitebridge, and it's going well. And so, he's depressed, but he was successful.
Yeah.
And his people are going to be safe. And to him, as a leader, that's what's important.
Yeah. But it doesn't get rid of the, wrongness that he's, feeling. He's like, no, there's something else going on here. This isn't quite finished. He feels it, you know?
Yeah, he's got them wolf senses.
They're tingling, you know? Yeah.
Wolfman does whatever a wolf can. Can he run in the dream? Yes, he can do anything. Look out, Perrin's a wolf man.
I hope Chad heard that. Oh my
and
god.
That was Holly contribution.
Hilarious.
Speaking of wolves.
Oh my god.
Speaking of wolves. Okay, so we cut to Graendal. And Graendal is probably sitting in her chair in a really sexy way. You know what I mean? Graendal's in her chair like this.
That is too much thigh for YouTube.
Graendal's just in her chair fuck. I wanted to kill Perrin.
It's darn, this is unfortunate. Spring the trap anyways. I was like, okay, all right.
Fucking Graendal.
Yeah, she's got to get a win, you know? This is real cute.
You don't like my pasty white thighs?
I love that, your thighs and forearms are, a different color.
What do you mean?
Well, actually, no. No, I think it was just the lighting over here.
They're not that different.
Nah, you got a bit of a tan.
Nerdy whitely! Look, you guys, I don't go outside. I make YouTube videos, and I read the Wheel of Time.
Yeah. Although, we might get some sun in LA. I brought sunscreen.
You might.
What? You're just gonna...
And I'll walk around with a parasol. You know who has a parasol? Robbie.
Can you give me a parasol?
No. In the Threefold Land, chapter 39. This is a chapter people definitely want us to talk about, and I don't know how I feel about it. We finally get Aviendha back. She's running through the desert, and then she stops for the night, and a woman named Nakomi comes up and basically explains all of the character growth that she's supposed to have, and then she disappears.
And then leaves.
How did you feel about Nakomi?
I don't know. I was literally and we met God.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel, but I don't know that I like this.
No, I don't know how I feel about this until this whole section is over, because it feels... Whatever happened here feels too easy if it's just a random person that she found. So I don't know. At first I was like, oh shit. As soon as Nakomi appeared, I was like, is Nakomi a Forsaken or something? But I was like, who the fuck?
It's Asmodean.
Fuck off. It better fucking not be. I
didn't love this. But the reason why I didn't love it is particularly because it felt like an author insert to be like, and this is the lesson about the fucking Aiel that needs to be learned. And I was like, oh, I kind of would like for like characters I know to like come up with this on their own and like come to these conclusions because of their interactions with the story, rather than just having a woman literally walk out of the desert and just like basically give the final answers to the test.
Yeah. Like, I hope that this is like part of the Ruidian thing, or that like I don't know. I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like I have any strong guesses or evidence as to what it might be. And so I'm just kind of a bit weird on it. I am super down for this to be part of something really badass and cool. Like don't get me wrong. I would love for this to like pay off, but it by itself was very strange. I was so confused.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those things where like this has to, if this comes back in a way that makes it cool, it'll be fun. I still think where it happens in the book is very random. It just sort of is like slid in between these other chapters.
It's
very short. It's like a conversation that I agree, and like I agree with what Nakomi's saying. I just don't love a character who has nothing to do with the story showing up and just telling Aviendha these things.
Yeah, my only like idea, well, I kind of have two ideas, that this is like part of Ruidian. And that, like, Nakomi is one of the ancestors of Aviendha somehow.
Okay.
But she hasn't gone through the things, and so I don't
that we know of. She might have.
I don't know. Then she sees Ruidian. I don't know.
If the reveal is that this happens while this is her Ruidian thing.
Yeah.
And she's, like, in a loop or something that she has to get out of. Like, she can't get out of Ruidian until she accepts what Nakomi's telling her. If there's something like that and they make it magical, I think that it could be really fun. If it turns out that she's, like the creator sent a person to come tell Aviendha this.
Yeah, if it's like God, it's a bit weird. Right. My other idea is that maybe because the Dark One's influence is creeping in and the world is falling apart, maybe the wheel is starting to crack and break, and that like it is a future version of Aviendha, or like a future like person, like an Aiel who, or even a past one, but I think that if either this is part of Ruidian, or that the wheel is breaking, and that this might be like a fracture either in time or in like the dream world or in the portal stones of some kind. But I don't know, and I don't really get it. So
any of those things would be interesting to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I just this chapter and where it is, I didn't really mean anything to me. I do agree that, like, I really like the element of it that is, like, what is the point of getting strong if there's nothing to be strong for?
Yeah.
Like, I really do like the concept of that, and I think the, like, conversation is really smart. It is just the fact that it happens with this random woman who is clearly not real.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Kyle, thank you so much for that super chat. Parasol fun. Now you have to get me a parasol. I've got the kids this weekend, so I won't get to see you while you're here in LA, but it's going to be hot and sunny. You'll need parasols. I'm excited. I love the warmth. It's going to be 30 degrees. Although, I mean, I don't know how much... We're going to be in the con center. So.
Sean says, Nakomi is the doctor just stepping out of her TARDIS to fix history for some reason. Obviously, lol.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. I hope she comes back.
If this is the only thing that this Nakomi character does in the whole series, I'm going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why you did that.
Yeah. But yeah, Kyle, thank you for that super chat.
I don't love when, like, it feels like characters need to be handed things in order to understand their world.
I want it to be, like, part of Aviendha and connected to her somehow.
Yeah. As opposed to just being God shows up and is like, here are the answers that you want. Arzu, thank you for that super chat. I want photos of both of you holding cute parasols. We will get cute anime parasols at Anime Expo this weekend, and we'll take a photo.
Probably sell that at Anime Expo. Parasols?
Yeah, all those weebs are so fucking pale.
Yeah.
Anime fans can't go outside. Chapter 40, the horniest chapter of the book, a making.
Oh my god.
Perrin.
Making a baby.
Perrin's feeling bad about Hopper, and so he starts to bang it out with Neild in the sweat tent, known as the Forge. And everyone shows up and watches as guys, okay, if you didn't watch our audio reaction,
ceremony.
I started to laugh so hard because this was the most sexual fucking shit you've ever heard in your life.
Perrin started leaking.
But when it got to the line, something leaked out of him.
I know.
And then Neild is like exhausted at the end, and he was like, oh my god, I was all right until the 6 wise ones joined in. I fucking lost it at that.
Yeah.
Like, I And it's so good. Like, this whole sequence is so good, and I enjoyed it on 2 separate levels at the exact same time. Of, like, the making of Ma'alenir, so good.
Yeah.
The sexual writing of, like, Perrin banging away, and, like, there was so much banging
Everybody
in the
watching.
tent.
He went hard. Yeah.
It just, like, I don't know if this is why someone commissioned this chapter, but what you got was me I lost it.
Yeah.
Like, I was losing it that whole fucking time.
It's not Mjolnir.
It is not Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
It's Meow Meow.
Oh.
From the first Thor. Meow Meow.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he makes his hammer, and it's super sexy, and he calls it Mjolnir, he who soars, to commemorate Hopper.
Yeah,
and
that was beautiful.
I really like that he broke his old hammer. Like, he kind of, like, ruined his old hammer to make his new one.
Yeah.
This hammer definitely cannot be used as a blacksmith's tool.
No, this is a war hammer. You're not creating anything with this, but it does have the 1 power infused into it. Neil had some, like, Taviran
big brain moment
vision and was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but it feels right. This feels right.
I love the idea that Perrin goes through this whole arc of being like, a hammer can be a weapon or it can create. And then that arc ends with him being like, and I use that hammer to make a hammer that definitely... You're not swinging a fucking 2-handed, 4-foot-long hammer in a blacksmithy with anything close. You can
barely hold with one hand.
Yeah. With anything close to being precise, right? And so he literally, like, at the end of Perrin's arc, he makes the exact hammer that cannot create. And I think it is so funny.
Yeah.
That we've gone through this whole bullshit about what hammers to create, axes to destroy, and then he makes the one fucking hammer. I thought he was gonna make a really cool, like, one-handed hammer, have a shield, but no, he makes fucking Ajax's hammer from Troy.
It's like 4 feet long.
And is like, this is a weapon now.
Yeah. No, I was like, whatever, I don't care. I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, I understand what the metaphor was and was trying to be, and I think it's really interesting for Perrin's, like, arc. But I don't know what it is about, like, fantasy series when they, like, have this whole procedure where they make a weapon. Like, it's one of my favorite parts of Aragon.
Yeah.
Slight spoiler. Sorry. They make a weapon.
It's not a spoiler.
And they make a weapon. Same with this. I was, like, fucking riveted, even if, we were, like, giggling through it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. I love it.
Rantelmore says, there's not really much to a blacksmith hammer, I guess, lol. Hammer is a hammer at the point you're a blacksmithin'. No, there is definitely... They're not the same thing. You cannot use a 4-foot-long 2-handed hammer to blacksmith with.
Yeah, that would be rough.
That would
be rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that I really know how to make hammers, but that's, like, it's, like, between 4 and 5 feet long. Like,
yeah,
it's almost
and you would always need
an
apprentice holding the fucking thing in place, whatever you're smashing in place.
Yeah. Maybe there is no difference for Randland,
Yeah. You could use it as an anvil.
Yeah, it's magical, so you probably can't, like, destroy it by, like, hitting it, right? So it's fine.
We cut over to Fael. Fael and Berlain have a very awkward conversation about Perrin, which is made more awkward because they do it circling the anvil, staring at each other while both of them are so wet.
Yeah.
You just watching Perrin make that hammer made everybody in camp moist.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's, like, slightly horny because everyone gathered around to watch. We get this, like, very weird... There's been some interesting stuff with Berlain in this book, which... Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of digging. Berlain is like, tell Perrin not to attack the White Cloaks, right? Mm-hmm. And Fael's like, you dumb idiot. That's not what he's doing.
You don't understand men. And she's like, no, I do understand men. I'm the first of my yin.
I understand. Rand promised Perrin to me. I mean, he didn't say that he promised him to me, but I just interpreted it that way. And I was like, fucking Christ.
Yeah,
woman.
I didn't love the whole interpretation thing.
It's it feels very Berlain.
But I was like, Berlain, you idiot.
She's like, no, we're playing politics right now. And Rand is not playing politics, and she just can't turn that off.
Yeah.
Like, she just doesn't get it. It's been her whole life. It's how she views the world. It's how she views people. And that's, like, the fundamental difference between Berlain and Fael, even though, like, they are very similar in a lot of ways, which was super interesting. Like, I think that they could be good friends.
I think they will be.
Yeah.
Because Berlain is like, don't worry about the whole Perrin thing. We're chill. I'm going to ride Galad's face like a magic broom. And File's like, good for you, girl.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Be careful. There's a lot of sharp edges. He has a very defined cheekbones, very defined jawline.
Yeah.
So, ride up and down in the middle. Don't go side to side.
Yeah.
But other than that, you should be good to go.
Yeah.
We cut over to Perrin. Perrin goes over to Elias and is like, hey, I'm good with myself now. And Elias is like, cool, I've got to go.
You.
And Perrin's like, last hunt.
See you there.
Last hunt. See you there.
Cool.
Cool. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being here for the last couple months. That was fun. Cut over to Galad. And Galad is Perrin has realized the plot. We kind of skipped over it, but Perrin has looked at the map and been like, wait, they're gonna attack where the white cloaks are. Because Sulin comes in at the end of the Hammer Forge and is like, they're here. Perrin's like, they're in danger. And so Perrin...
Right, yeah, they looked at the map and it was like, this is the perfect place for an ambush.
We cut over to Galad, and Galad is woken up by Trom, who's like, they're here. They're above us. They got bows and arrows. We are fucked. Because they are. And
they just don't know how they're getting fucked yet,
Bayer pops in the room, and Bayer's point of view here is really interesting to me because he's like, this is your fault. You fucked us all. And we know that that's not true, right? Like, no one believes Perrin is going to attack the White Cloaks here, right? Mm-hmm. All of us reading this, we're like, Perrin's up to something. But Bayer's point of view here to me is really interesting because he is right from his point of view.
Right.
And, he's looking at the situation like there is an invading force above us who is mad at us because of who we had a chance to stop and you let them go. Mm-hmm. And we're fucked now because of you. And I respected Bayer here.
I'll be right back.
Oh, babe, you barely had any of this.
I know.
Oh my god. And so Bayer is like, look, you fucked us. And Galad is like, maybe. But for now, we gotta fight for the right to party. And he's like, everyone, go tent by tent and tell people in their tents to put their armor on as quiet as possible. And I want this scene in live action of all of these, the camera just pans through a bunch of tents as there's just a bunch of men trying to really quietly put on their armor. And you just know there's one guy who drops his glove and is like, I don't think anyone heard me. And so, he realizes that Perrin's army has all those archers, orders his men to take up shields, but stay in their tents so they can be sneaky snakes. We cut back to Fail. Fail is up on that ridge with Berlain and Perrin and Aviendha, and Perrin is like, hey, you three ladies, once the fighting starts, you gotta get out of here. Get out of here. We're gonna be fighting. We don't really need you for this. It's gonna be fine. And Berlain is like, yo, please, for the love of God, do not kill the White Cloaks. And Perrin is like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to kill the White Cloaks. I'm here to save Galad. And Berlain's like, what? And then the fighting begins. Boom. I did it without you. Can I help you?
Here we go. Fucking carpet.
We had a perfectly fine carpet, and then it didn't fit in the room. I said to go to Ruggable, and you were like, no.
Yeah, they didn't. I showed you the options, and we were like, yeah, no, none of these work. Oops, I just crinkled it.
Hey, Nerdy, remember that scene in Wayne's World when Wayne quits on air and Garth stares at the camera in fear? I do remember that scene. It's a funny scene. I do remember that scene.
Yeah, sure, if you,
Chapter 41, An Unexpected Alley.
Yes, weird. There's a weird,
this girl, Allie, shows up, and, Galad.
Allie is Nakomi, actually.
Galad is like, everybody out of the tents. Form lines at the bottom of the hill. We're not going to go down being sneaky in our tents. We're going to form lines. And so they start to form lines, and then the arrows loose. And it's like, fuck. Oh, no, they're going to kill us all with their arrows. And then nobody dies, and they're like, wait, what the fuck is going on right now?
They're very confused. They're like, wow, they missed by a lot.
They shot over there in the darkness.
Yeah, crazy.
And so the Ashaman light up the sky. And then we get, I feel like if you want to know what I feel about the whole thing, go watch the audiobook reaction.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk through every beat of this fight, but this fight fucking rocks.
It did. Yeah.
This fight rocks donkey dicks. You know what I mean? It is the elements of Perrin's strategy, going from being very reserved and trying to save the White Cloaks from afar to the White Cloaks really having a solid plan, but just being so overwhelmed. The channeler who's using the portal stone to move these Trollocs in. And then the point where it's like, okay, the White Cloak strategy is not working. What do we do? And Perrin rides down the hill, full tilt with his people, and they go in to save Galad Damodred. And it's so good because we were talking about this in the audiobook reaction, but it mirrors that first charge down the hill with Lan and Moraine in the Emmonsfield Five.
Yeah.
When they first rode into the Trollocs in that fight, when they were trying to cross the those hills.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought like this sequence mirrored that, but this time Perrin is not just swinging around, not knowing what he's doing. He's leading, and he's doing things intentionally.
Yeah.
And the Trollocs that once hunted him, he is now hunting, right? Like
this is also like a very like Lord of the Rings reference as well.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Where Gandalf rides down that very, very steep hill and just decimates the fucking orcs.
Yeah, I think that like there's so many beautiful parallels for Perrin's journey in this scene in particular.
Yeah.
And
this section,
they get to Galad. Galad's been hurt, and Perrin basically throws Galad up on his horse and is like, "You can't move your feet, but you can move your hands."
I can't carry it for you.
And yeah, there's just this whole sequence it's such a good fight.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like most of the White Cloaks are dead.
Not most.
Yeah.
A lot of them survive.
He had 20,000. I'm assuming he's got 3 or 4 left. Based on...
You think it's that few?
Yeah. Yeah. They got fucked.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual
children
numbers
were
are.
Not prepared. The children are all about finding dark friends, killing shadow spawn, and most of them have never fucking seen a shadow spawn.
Well, and they're so uneducated.
Yeah.
And I find that so interesting. Because the weird thing about the shadow spawn in this world is that they are so literal to the Borderlanders.
Yeah.
And so you would think the White Cloaks would have like agents in the Borderlands learning about them. You would think but instead the White Cloaks are
you have to go serve and kill Trollocs for a year. Like,
well, but the White Cloaks are just a bunch of incels. You know what I mean? Like they're like the Proud Boys. Where they have these like lofty things they say they're about.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they don't have the like intelligence. And I mean intelligence, like their own smarts, and also intelligence in the terms of like don't have like the information they need to actually be effective at what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
They are like all of these Americans who call themselves, who are like, we need a well-regulated militia because the Second Amendment. And it's like, your well-regulated militia is not useful.
Yeah, yeah.
Without someone who can actually lead it, and without information, and without all of these other things.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to like the reading of the White Cloaks as being more intimidated by the Aes Sedai because they're women than because they have magic is really interesting to me. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. It feels like they're a bunch of men who do not like that women have power. It does not feel like they care about magic. They don't care about dark friends. They know nothing about Trollocs.
And here's the thing, when these kind of organized religions or cults begin, I think that like the most convincing ones have like there's truths in there, right?
Yeah.
There's truths that the Aes Sedai are dangerous.
Yeah.
Right? And but with these groups, it's really easy to manipulate people into a strain of thinking if you can give them like evidence of certain truths, right? Like even if they're like only half truths, right? And that's why it gets so messy. Like I really would love to read, and this is like so random, I would love to read a history of how the White Cloaks actually like started, like where they came from and why, and what was their what were they like, and not just like an unreliable narrator about someone writing from back then, but like an actual perspective of like what happened, how they came to be, and then how they came to be what they turned into, right? Like I do find them kind of fascinating as a group, because they're kind of like they're kind of dumb. Like they're like, yeah, we're here to fight Shadow Spawn, and I don't know, maybe 70% of them have never seen a Shadow Spawn. That's a random number, but it's kind of what it feels like. These people fucking break lines, they run away, like they have no idea what's going on.
Well, and they're ineffective in the entire series, right?
Yeah.
Like the White Cloaks are essentially good at overwhelming an individual woman on her own. And that's what they're good at. That is when they are successful. But like they get their asses kicked by the Sanshin.
Yeah.
They get their asses kicked by Matt. They get their asses kicked by Perrin. Like the White Cloaks take so many L's in this series that it's hard. And granted, all of the evil side does, right? The evil side never wins anything, and so nobody on the opposite, not necessarily the evil side, because I don't think the White Cloaks are evil. I think they have a very like morally
skewed,
well, and a very warped worldview because of the reality of their world, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that they're evil, right? I think that they're just a little bit fucked up.
Some of them are. Some of them are like, yeah, we're just going to murder these people because they're in our way. But the people who follow those orders...
100%. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is that the White... Because nobody on the opposing side of the Emmonsfield 5 ever wins anything, and they also lost to the Sanshin, the White Cloaks come off as far more incompetent than they do frightening at this point.
Sure,
And so they're just kind of like... They're just kind of there, and so because they come across as incompetent because they keep just losing and losing and losing and losing. That's where the like incel kind of parallel is really visible. There are a bunch of men who cannot handle the fact who think that they are morally righteous. Against women who have more power than them because they're scared of those women, but they're not actually good at anything.
Yeah.
Like, they're good at harassing people who they have more power than.
Yeah.
That is not impressive, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of why, I say there's maybe 3,000 to 4,000 left, which I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of hoping that, honestly, the White Cloaks get mostly decimated, and that if they come back after the last battle, that they are fundamentally different, right?
I think they're already fundamentally. I honestly think it doesn't even...
Yes.
If they survive...
Especially Galad being there makes them fundamentally different. I just mean, like... the idea of having a group of people who they want to be protectors of those that are good and like ferret out dark friends. Like, I think that like is an understandable goal. I just think that they like absolutely don't know what the fuck they're doing. But if most of them are dead, they can kind of like restart, rebrand a little bit.
One of the problems I have with the White Cloaks right now is that they... Maybe it's just because Niall's gone and Balwer's gone, but the Rhineland doesn't seem like it's big enough for them to not have the information that they don't have. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sorry, what do you mean? What information?
Like, you can get to the Blight and see a Trolloc from Emmedicia in like 2 months.
You can get there as an individual. The Borderlanders would kill the fucking White Cloaks for stepping foot into their territory.
No, they wouldn't.
Oh my god, yeah.
Murder them? No.
People hate the White Cloaks. The White Cloaks as a faction cannot freely travel around, which is why they're kind of like stuck in certain places where they have influence or favor with the ruler. The Borderlanders would fucking riot. And that's what I mean. As an individual, they could maybe go and fight and like see a Trolloc, but the White Cloaks as like a group would have to like work with the Borderlanders and be like, hi, we believe in preserving the light and fighting Shadow Spawn. Let's work together on that. But there's no fucking way that they would have with their previous leadership because they're so righteous, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Methany, thank you so much for that super chat.
Methany, thank you.
The Warhammer feels to me like Perrin acknowledging the person he needs to be while paying tribute to his preferred choice. It's an okay outcome for me. It's okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
Honestly,
I like the hammer a lot. Like, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I really like how you put that. I think that's fair. I think the moment works for me. Right? I think we've had issues with that metaphor, like, as a whole that have kind of been, like, patched up as we go. And I'm happy with the outcome for sure. Yeah.
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 So then they just fight and it's really awesome.
It is. It's a really cool battle.
And Perrin's Ma'alanir, every time it hits a Trolloc, it like sizzles their skin. It burns them. Which is cool. He is Harry Potter and the Trollocs are Professor Quirrell.
One more thing that I thought was really interesting. No, I forgot it. It went away. Shit.
Cool. Good point, babe. Thank you for that.
No. Sorry. The one thing that I found was really interesting is even Galad, being an expert swordsman that he is, he wears out very quickly. Like, he's so tired because he's used to fighting with these sword forms. He's used to fighting other people who have intelligence. And even he's being worn down by the Chalks because it's just brute force, right? He's used to the more finesse of it. And like even he has a rough time with the Chalks, which I think was really interesting.
Well, and it's just the amount of weight that you have to put into your strikes to get through their skin, right?
Yeah,
to actually hurt them.
And multiple times too, right?
With humans, if you can just like nick
the right spot,
nick at the elbow or at the knee or at the ankle, or obviously at the neck.
Yeah.
But like even like one of those farther extremities that people are less likely to protect than their neck.
Yeah.
You can like incapacitate someone from a fight really quickly.
Yeah, but the Trollocs.
But with Trollocs, you have to fucking full-on hack slash with your 1.5-handed sword, which is heavy, right? It's hard to do.
Yeah.
You'd much rather be stabbing and poking.
Slicing, yeah.
Yeah. But,
yeah. It was just that I found very, very interesting to read.
They do win though, and Perrin and Glad have a conversation in the middle of all of them to end the chapter. And in the middle of that, Byre tries to stab Perrin in the back because he's a coward.
Yeah.
And
Bornhold is like, not on my watch.
Yeah, the man who spent the last 2 years thinking that this person killed his dad is the one that saves him.
And I love that
great moment.
I love that it is a reflex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not like he has no time to think about it. He sees a man go to stab another man in the back. Mm-hmm. And his instinct, which is why I'm like, you know what, there's good in him. Like, he is redeemable to me. Like, his instinct is to say no to that. Like, this dishonorable, heinous thing.
Yeah.
And, chef's kiss. Great. Fantastic. I don't really care about Bornhold as a character much, but, like, that moment, I was like, Bornhold. He's interesting.
I've liked Bornhold since the Aviendha fight.
I just don't really think about him that much in terms of the series.
Sure, I find a character, like, I would love to play Dane Bornhold. I think it'd be, obviously, he's been cast.
He's been cast.
Yeah, and he's so hot. But Dane Bornhold,
he's a Chad.
I wonder if they're going to get rid of Byre, though, and if they're going to mix Byre and Bornhold together.
Isn't Byre a mixture of Valda, right?
No, Valda is a mixture of Valda and Asunawa right now.
Oh, that's it. Right.
So, yeah, no, I like this point by Craptacular. Bornhold was after justice, not revenge. I dig it.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Chapter 42, Powers of Midnight. This is stronger than blood. We start with Gawain, and he's hurting. He's not feeling great.
But he's happy.
But, he's feeling the joy of being tied to Egwene. Egwene comes in, and they have a conversation about how Masana was being a brown sister named Danelle. Have we ever heard of Danelle before?
No, okay. Which is why I don't think this is true. I don't understand. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's just some random fucking person. Like, I was like, how?
What do you mean this isn't true? This makes a lot of sense.
Well, no, because we never found out how she got around, like, retaking the oaths and shit.
They come up with, like, 5 ways, though. They're like, we don't know what she did. And they're never going to find out because she's literally, like, an invalid now, right?
Yeah. She is around, sure.
She's super minor, yeah. We heard about her about book 4.
Great.
I definitely remember that.
Right. She was a brown who just kept to herself, didn't really do much, I guess.
And so Gawain's like, I know that I disobeyed you, but marriage? You wanna get married right now? You wanna just like do that? You wanna like, I don't know. If you like it, then you should put a ring on it.
Basically, yeah.
And she's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Gawain's like, we get married now. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. My parents would murder us.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I love that that's...
Well, yeah, she says yes to the marriage. She doesn't say to the right now part. And she's like, and Gawain's like, I'll go contact your parents. And she's like, no, I can do it. And he's like, you're the Amerlin seat. Let me handle your mail.
Yeah.
Which I agree with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gawain's not perfect, but he's trying. He's like, I will protect you, and anything else, I will do what you say.
Yeah.
Like, your safety is first, and I will try to be like your warder.
Which means Gawain is gonna die. I'm putting because of this moment. I'm saying Gawain has about a 10% chance of surviving the last battle.
I know. I was gonna say 20% chance.
That's
of surviving.
high.
But yeah, I feel like there's an 80% chance that Gawain
bites the dust.
Yeah.
I wonder what that does to Egwene, but Gawain is going to die, and it's going to be really interesting.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anytime someone is like, I surrender to making the rest of my life about protecting you,
here's the problem.
That character in fiction will die.
Here's the problem.
What?
Here's the problem. If Gawain is in danger of dying, which I believe that he is, then I also believe that Egwene is in danger.
Of dying?
Yes, dying or having something bad happen, like being, like maybe burning out, using the one power so hard that she burns out. Or like yeah. If Gawain is in danger, I feel like Egwene is also in danger.
I just have a feeling that the epilogue of this series is gonna be like 200 years later. Egwene is like remembering Gawain, but she's had other warders. You know what I mean? The whole like you outlive your warder by so many years, to me, means that like I don't think I think that I just don't think about it the same way. Also, to end Gawain's point of view, he takes the rings from the blood knives.
Oh, yeah. Weird. I don't know how I feel about that. If he gives them to Egwene, I'm like, okay, cool.
No, he's going to put all 3 of them on. One on each hand and one on his penis.
And he's going to die immediately? Like, what the fuck?
No, he's going to be super stealthy in the shadows.
For 3 minutes?
No, for a fucking month.
Well, yeah.
The blood knives can live for as long as they want, apparently.
Yeah, but you put on 3, you know?
Yeah, but
it decreases your time by a third each time.
You don't know how they work. You don't know that.
No,
You're just making shit up.
We didn't know
how the rings worked last week.
I know. Still not. Yeah. Yeah, Gawain lost 3 minutes. That sounds about right.
You know what? Egwene's gonna love those 3 minutes. Lan, we cut up to Candor, the border between Candor and Arafel. And Lan is just riding along, and he's like singing a song. Sing a song, it's a travel. I want to do that with Lan as Shrek and one of these other Hidori idiots as Donkey. Why me? Why me? Tell me what was my crime. As chatty as a parrot, more annoying than a mime. Hey, look, a cat who's wearing boots. That's crazy.
God damn it.
A simple answer would be fine.
Cardio. That's my favorite one. This is good cardio.
This is good cardio.
If you haven't seen Shrek the Musical, y'all, you're missing out.
Worth it.
I swear.
Worth it. Yeah, the film version with Daniel Breaker as Donkey.
It's so good, yeah.
Chef's kiss.
It was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's still there.
And so they, he's just riding along, and then he crosses over, like, towards the, like, keep between Candor and Arafel, and there's thousands of people there with the fucking golden crane.
And he's like...
And he turns to his men, and he's like, which one of you did it? Which one of you motherfuckers did it? Which of you did it? Was it me, Jesus? And so he's like, everybody, keep your fucking mouth shut. We're just going to walk through. We're not going to say a goddamn thing. Yeah. Everyone's silent as a fucking mouse.
Yeah, they get to the border.
So they get to the gate.
Yeah, and the guy's like, papers. And he's like, we're just going to go fight, give supplies.
And he's like, you have to pay taxes. And he's like, I'm giving free. Shit away for free.
They're free. And he's
it's like us when we go to the States.
Sure. Okay, you know what? I believe you. Yeah, you go through.
And so
he rolls like an 18 insight check, and he's like, oh yeah, no, this guy's honest.
Well, he swears by it, and Borderlanders trust that shit.
Yeah.
And so he goes through, and there's someone upstairs who's like, Lan Mandragoran? And Lan's like, oh my fucking god, who's that? And so the Prince of Candor comes down.
Yep.
And is like, yo, what's up? I'm coming with you. And he's like, how the fuck did you recognize me?
He's like, no, I ride alone. And he's like, yeah, I'm riding alone beside you. And I was like, what the fuck?
But this is my favorite thing about... I almost wish we'd reacted to this chapter, because I cackled. Like, I full-on cackled at 3 o'clock in the morning last night when I was finally reading this, because I was finally packed. And I was like, wait a second. Nynaeve went around to all of these people and was like, hey, Lan's probably going to hide who he is, but if you see a giant black horse, it's Lan. He's not getting rid of that horse. He loves that horse more than he loves me.
This is what Mandarb looks like. Here's a portrait.
And I love the beat of... He's so mad at her.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to send her frustration and love simultaneously through the bond. I'm going to send her a little bit of both.
Because he's noticed that the bond has changed, and he's almost positive it's Nynaeve. Because it, like, feels different. He's like, oh, no, I recognize Nynaeve's emotions. And, so he just sends a little frustration. And I was like, You motherfucker.
And he gives up. In this moment, him and Perrin, in back-to-back chapters, have...
Yeah, he gives up. He turns around and goes home.
The same No, they have the same moment where he's like, fuck it. All right, I'm king of Malkier. Is everyone happy? And they are.
They're happy.
They're screaming. There's cheering. People start dropping trow and just having a new king orgy. You've been to a new king orgy. They're great.
I haven't.
What? You've never been to a new king orgy?
Why haven't you taken me to one?
Well, because the only king recently has been one who's like, I don't want to go to Charles's orgy. I'm sorry.
No, actually, I'm okay. You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
I like a King Charles orgy is not my kind of orgy.
Yeah.
Like a King Harry orgy would be my kind of orgy. You know what I mean? Like,
right. So when he becomes king.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
After, what's his brother's name?
William.
That's it.
Yeah.
We are big royal family people. And yeah, so Tishar Malkiri.
Yeah.
The golden crane flies for Tarman Gaiden.
Cheers.
Let's go.
Cheers to that. It's gonna be cool. I wish they had done and the 7 became 2,439. Like, you know, like it would have been funny to like throw a number.
Towers of Midnight, chapter 43. Some tea.
We love some tea.
Yeah, we're spilling all the tea here.
Mm-hmm.
Berserker says, the experts for orgies in the royal family is definitely Andrew, and I wouldn't go to his parties. That's fair.
Correct.
I would not go to an Andrew party.
No.
Because an Andrew party has kids. What? Allegedly.
Allegedly.
For
yes.
legal reasons, allegedly.
Yeah, if we get assassinated next time we go to England.
Every time I hear the word allegedly, I think of DJ Khaled's Another One. But it's allegedly.
Oh my fucking God.
And I don't know why my brain does that.
I don't know.
But for years now, every time I think of like alleged, I like being like allegedly. Allegedly.
God damn it. DJ Khaled. Anyways, yeah, some tea.
Sean says, I love Lan also references that guy from the book people said you did not need to read. Yeah, the people who said don't read New Spring, don't get him. I don't understand him. It's still one of my favorite books in the series.
You're wrong.
It's like a top 6 Wheel of Time book.
I don't normally say people's opinions are wrong, but that you're wrong.
Read New Spring.
It's a good book.
New Spring's fantastic.
It's a good book.
So Perrin and Galad are having a little walkabout.
Yeah, going through
the battlefield.
For a stroll in the garden.
And Perrin uses his super hearing to save a little boy's life. And by a little boy, I mean like a 25-year-old man who just fought in a war.
Yeah.
And Galad takes that moment to be like, oh shit, you're not a dark friend. And Perrin is like, hey, remember how like you said I was a murderer? What if you you swore fealty to me and you fought in the last battle with me?
Yeah. He's like, look, you can either work with me or you can work with Rand. And like I wouldn't fuck with that. I would go with me, honestly, is the better option. And you know, I can vouch for you. Rand and I were supposedly in a fight. That's what people think.
But there's also a threat in it. He's like, look, either you can just say yes, come with me, or you can say no, and Rand will come get you, and I don't know you can't say no to Viren. And Galad is like, okay, fine. They shake on it. They're going to work together. And then Galad is so tired that he has to sit down.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, man. And Perrin's like, yeah.
Taviran, we'll do that to you.
And I was like, does being Taviran make you tired?
I guess.
That's never happened before.
Well, I don't know. I guess, like, Perrin gets caught up in, like, Rand's Taviran and...
Yeah, but we've never had Perrin, like, be tired from it.
Yeah.
It was just, like, a weird new reaction to it.
Yeah.
But cool, and, like... I'm glad that the White Cloaks are going to be helpful in the last battle and not just like a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We cut over to Aviendha, who is spying on Fael and Berlain and trying to figure out what the problem is between them. Which leads to like a genuinely like great conversation between Aviendha and Fael, and then a great conversation between Aviendha and Berlain.
Yeah.
And I feel like this chapter did a really good job setting up these women's perspectives and ending kind of the like kind of unnecessary conflict between them.
Yeah.
While also making me think that Aviendha is definitely a dark friend.
Why?
The way she's spying, I think that she's a dark friend.
Oh, I don't know. That just feels political to me. I don't think she's a dark friend. I think that like if that were the case when they were all captured together, things might have gone differently because there were probably a bunch of dark friends in the camp. Like
maybe.
I don't know. I just think that she's a politician and she's like leaning in. She's like, oh shit, I was leaning too hard. I'm not listening. Don't mind me. She's looking at my nails. Like,
and so Berlane kind of reveals to Aviendha that she doesn't think that there's room for love in her life because she has to make a political match. And then the man that she loves walks over, who's also a good political match.
And she just splooges everywhere.
Oh my God.
Like, there's a river.
He's literally like, hey. And she's like, and
no,
he's like,
she's fine.
Would you like some tea?
Galad's
and she's like, I already have tea. And he's like,
well, let me pour you tea anyways. They're so fucking awkward. It's hilarious.
They're so hot and they're so awkward with each other.
I know. It's like Berlane is like, you know when like women are bisexual and they're like I can flirt with men, but I can't flirt with women. That's like Berlane. Berlane is like so used to the political flirting that because she like actually likes Galad, she's like, I don't know how to navigate this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very funny.
Fael says Berlane looks hungry. No, she's thirsty.
She's thirsty. Also, I do love that, like, Aviendha's like, oh, Berlane let herself show a little more frustration than she normally would have because it means that, like, Fael won and she's, like, signaling that and that, like, this is over. And I was like, this is such fucking mind game bullshit.
Exhausting.
Like, yeah. This is why I, like, never was involved in, like, drama when I was, like, in school or whatever. I was like, you all can fight. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't have the
that sixth sense to determine when someone is allowing enough of their anger to show that they are like on the back foot and want to be defeated so they can move on to other things. My brain doesn't work like that.
Chapter 44, a backhanded request. So Morghese is chilling. And she runs into Talanvor, and Talanvor is like, yo. Talanvor, whatever the fuck his name is. And Talinvair. So she's like, hey. And he's like, hey, so this sucks, huh? And she's like, what? And he's like, well, we can never be together because you have to make a choice for Andor, and I can't be a part of that. And that's terrible. And she's like, nah, fuck that. I have been used for my body for Andor by like everybody, by so many different men, and no more. And I was like, yes! Yes, this woman is standing up for her bodily autonomy, and we'd stan a queen.
We love it.
Who's not a queen anymore, but still a queen.
Yeah.
Talanvor's pronounced Dave.
She's a queen in our hearts, you know? Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. And she's like, no, you know what? Fuck that shit. I've given my body to this kingdom. Like 4 times.
The last battle is coming.
Yeah,
like, I would like to orgasm once in my life, you know. Well, actually, no. Tom was probably
Tom Marilyn gave Gabriel. Oh, not Gabriel. Gareth Bryan gave that woman orgasms.
Gabriel did not.
Gareth Bryan knows how to make a woman come.
Yeah, that's fair. It's
Siwan
been a while,
would
though.
Not be with a man.
It's been a while for Morghese, right? You know,
Siwan has been with Moraine, right? So Siwan knows what a talented cunnilingus perfecter is like. Mm-hmm. She would not settle for Bryn unless he was a talented wordsmith, a tonguesmith.
Tonguesmith.
Yeah.
Tonguesmith. Okay, gotcha.
That's the new word for men who go down on women is tonguesmith.
Yeah, tonguesmiths rise up.
Maybe if we give it a cool name like tonguesmith, men will actually do it instead of being like, I don't like vaginas.
Because they're like, Smith, that sounds manly.
Yeah, man. I want to be a tonguesmith.
I want to be a tonguesmith.
Coming soon to my OnlyFans page, I will teach tonguesmith lessons to other men.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just take like a peach. Be like, so. Rantel Moore, thank you for the super chat. The last battle is coming, and damn it, so will I. Proud of you.
You've seen Forged in Fire, the blacksmithing television show. What about Forged in the Fires of Heaven, the new tonguesmithing show coming to Netflix this fall?
Oh my god! Phenomenal.
Can you imagine the like Craigslist ad that's like looking for women to lie down on a table and have cunnilingus performed on them for Netflix's latest reality series, Forged in the Fires of Heaven?
I can see it, honestly. I can see it. Totally.
So Talanvor is like, oh, okay, so if you're serious, do you want to get married? And Morghese is like, right now, let's go do it. And Perrin is like, didn't we just do this like 4 days ago?
Yeah, but Talanvor never asked.
Well, and Linny's involved this time. And Linny's like, you're getting fucking married.
Yeah, Linny gives no fucks. Like, she's hilarious to me.
I love Linny. Yeah, big fan of Linny.
Yeah.
Did you read Rantelmore Super Chat?
Yep.
Thank you again, Rantelmore.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate you.
So we cut over to Perrin, and Perrin is like, cool, what's going on? You guys want to get married? Okay. do you want, what do I do? And they're like, just simple, whatever. He's like, cool. So Morghese and Talonvor say some really, like, sweet vows.
They do. I like, for making that up on the fly, although maybe they thought about it for a while.
Yeah.
But, like, I was like, oh, god damn, that's really good. And then, like, Fael's like, and Perrin is like, women. And my eyes are kind of watery, though.
And then Perrin goes, all right, you're married.
Yeah. And Fael's
Get
like,
out of here.
We're going to need to work on your presentation. But, you know, good for first try. You know, for your first one, that was okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Oh my god, we fucking skipped over the banner. This is all relevant because when I was so focused on the sexuality of forging the hammer, I forgot that at the end of forging the hammer, Perrin is like, I will lead. I will be king.
Will did not burn all of the banners.
Yeah.
He kept the one that he helped, so.
I can't believe we skipped over that. Mm-hmm. But it was just so funny because something leaked out of Perrin.
Fair.
Yeah, no. So he's fully embraced being not king, maybe king. He's not committing to not
sort of king
being Menethrin, but we'll see.
Yeah, and they might be part of Andor.
And so he
Looney killed Asmodee. Honestly, at this point, would not be surprised.
And so he marries them, and Fael walks off to go get ready a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And then Perrin just walks into Matt.
Basically.
And Matt's like, hey, you want to let a badger go in the woods?
It's like, Matt, what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's referencing the beginning of their adventure. It's cute.
It is cute.
He's being a bro, okay? This is how bros bond.
With badgers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I kidnapped an animal. Do you want to go scare the shit out of some women?
Super bro-y, bro. Love that.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see Matt show a little bit of that youth again.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of weight. He's married now, but it was nice for him to show up. He warns Perrin about the assassins and is like, meet me at this inn. It's really important. But I gotta go. And Perrin's like, how the
I gotta go.
Yeah. And then he like sneaks off really quickly, and Perrin's just standing there like,
how did he get past my scouts or my like watch?
Did he do any of this?
Yeah. Tavirin.
It's so nice that people are starting to come back together. It's so nice that Perrin's timeline is caught up. There's so many nice things happening.
I know. Like, Perrin and Egwene had a meeting. Perrin and Matt met up. Like, I'm just like, Galad is now in with the boys, right? Like, he's with our crew. Yeah.
That quiet guy, not gonna get to catch up before I go to work, but the most exciting thing about you finishing the series for me is that you get to listen to Tavad. The Vampires Are Diaries. The Taviran Virgins Are Doomsday.
This
television
vagina ate dick. I thought that was pretty good. I don't know what that is, quiet guy. I'm so sorry, but we really appreciate the super chat. It's the movie Teeth, actually, if you haven't
Tarvalon After Dark. Did I nail it?
I don't know what that is.
I nailed it! Tarvalon After Dark.
I don't know what that is.
Fuck yes. I figured it out. Oh my god. Titan Virgin Attack Dildo.
It's a podcast.
That vagina ate dick is so funny.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. How have we not been on
That's an
Tarvalon
original
After Dark?
Rooster creation. Just wanna
That was a creation of the Rooster. Yeah.
Thank you for that super chat. Yeah, I'm excited to get into more of like the Wheel of Time community outside of our circle now, like, and not have to worry about spoilers. Mm-hmm. It'll be fun.
For sure.
Chapter 45.
Matt asks Perrin for help getting a gateway because Elaine won't give him one. That's final thing in chapter 44. No, but that's gonna be important because that's how he gets to Tar of Genji.
Yeah.
But also Perrin. Wait, actually, I don't know if Andor is gonna fall. I think I might take back my prediction.
Oh, okay.
Well, if Perrin's there with 70,000 people.
Yeah.
Something bad would really. I don't know. Man, yeah, with Perrin's there.
But there was 50,000 Trollocs that I don't know.
I like that Bears with Roller Skates. Super chat is so crazy.
It's still there. I know. There. I keep looking at it and I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, Bear. Thank you. I literally cannot. Like,
crazy.
Yeah. A reunion. Reunion.
Chapter 45. Reunion. We just have this like really sweet scene where Elaine is like sitting. She's getting her morning report. And things are mostly okay. Masana has been defeated. She's feeling all tingly because Rand's feeling good, which she likes. And they kind of discuss how they're going to take Kyrian. Are they going to use armies? Elaine's like, we'll figure it out. Not too worried about it. And then in through the door comes Blue with 20 membos because Blue is a motherfucking mad lad.
Oh my fucking god.
Blue, we were in the middle of trying to get on. We're trying to get on with it. We have a plane to catch, and y'all are derailing the show.
No, we're doing good.
We need to get on the rails.
We're doing good.
We need to get on the rails.
No.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. We need to get on the rails. On the rails.
Don't boop me.
Don't boop me.
Stop it. Stop.
Thank you, Blue.
Wow.
Blue has now canonically met Elaine.
Oh my god.
Executive producer Blue has canonically met Elaine.
Executive producer Blue. Wow. Thank you
Y'all
so much
are mad lads, okay? Wilding out today. Fuck.
Blue is like, no, great, in chat.
Okay, can we get on the rails?
What rails?
Rails.
Where are they?
Get on them.
Where?
Get on the rails.
I don't know
Get
how.
on the rails.
You gotta explain this
Get
to
on
me.
them somehow.
I am Perrin.
These are the rails. Get on them.
Get on them.
That is in between them. We are fully not on the rails because of you. You had one job. Get on the rails. Why do I sound like Seinfeld? Wants to deal with airplane food.
I guess we'll find out in a few hours.
Have you ever had a black and white cookie?
I don't get it.
Get on the rails.
Okay, I'm on the rails.
All right, so in walks Galad. And Elena's like, yo, what's up, Galad? That's my brother. And Galad's like, yeah, so about that. Have you met Morghese? And she's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, God, I love that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's so awkward, and it's so beautiful.
It is. It is beautiful.
The only way this scene could have been better is if Gawain was there for it, too. Mm-hmm. To be like, wait, Rand didn't kill my mom.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'll be nice.
I want Gawain to come back to Camelin, see his mom, and be like, nah, I still think Rand did it.
Yeah, no, Rand definitely killed my mom.
Dark friends. This is
a plot.
I heard a rumor one time.
It's the scroll.
Everyone keeps telling me that rumor was a lie.
I know.
But even seeing my mother won't change my mind.
No, can't change my mind. Too big brain.
And the political conversation they have here is really interesting, right? Because the idea of succession and the succession being in danger because of Morghese. If Morghese has more kids, that puts Elaine's children's succession in question. There's a lot of like really cool, very, very future thinking. Like I like that these characters aren't so focused on the last battle that they're not thinking about their kingdom after the last battle.
Well, yeah, and Rand made a point of that and of like what comes afterwards. You know, the goal is to survive the last battle. But if there is nothing left afterwards, then the Dark One kind of wins anyways.
Yeah. And there's something really fun about Galad's transactional way of viewing the conversation that they're having, where he's like, I will give you information and then you give me information.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot here, and it's so, like, I've been waiting for Morghese to finally get back for so many books.
I know, it was really
and
beautiful.
this was great.
Yeah, like, there's so, like, the shock is still there, and Elaine's brain is like, oh shit, like, I'm so happy, but also this makes things so complicated. And she's like, you abdicated the throne. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're gonna have to publish that right away. We gotta get the politicking done and out of the way. And she sends people to go do that so that she can, like, have a moment. And they, like, actually, like, talk. And it was really sweet. And she's like, you're going to be an amazing queen. And I was like, it's so good. Like,
yeah, it really is. It was such a great moment. And the Galad moments, the way that, like, Elaine is like, Nori, can you make sure that everyone knows about this abdication? Like, we need to get ahead of this. But let's tell our allies so they're not blindsided by it. Yeah. Like, there's so much here. We should be the one
to say it. Tell them. Let them know.
And Morghese being like, look, I've got some apologies to make, even though it wasn't my fault. And it was Gabriel, but no one's going to believe it was a Forsaken. So, like, I've got some real apologies to make. And she's, Morghese has such a maturity to her that I think is going to rub off on Elaine in the best way. Yeah. I think, like, her mom is going to make Elaine a better ruler.
She's not happy that she's pregnant with Rand's children.
I love that Morghese hates Rand.
Dungeon, the way he was looking at you even then. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, but it's going to be one of those things where Marquise is going to be mad until she sees Elaine and Rand together and she's going to be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Or she'll see
all of them together. She'll see Rand and Elaine and be like, oh, cute. And then Aviendha and Min show up and she's like, what the fuck?
Or she'll just see Elaine and Aviendha together and be like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
I have questions.
What is this?
What in the lesbian is this?
Yeah. I would love that moment.
So they have a little catch up. And then speaking of Aviendha, we cut back to Aviendha.
Mm-hmm.
Aviendha is still running. She's running up that hill. Make a deal with God.
Run.
Get into higher places. Be running up that hill. Running up that road. And basically. She is, looking at Meridian. And it's different. People live there now. There's no, death
water.
Cloud around it.
There's water.
There is so much water. There's a whole lake.
It's like a weird, unfinished city.
Yeah, there's the Tears of the Dragon.
Which the lake, yeah.
is stolen from Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which came out this year, but Wheel of Time stole from it.
Totally stole it. Totally stole it. Yeah. 100%.
And, she just kind of is like, all right, I guess it's time to go into Meridian tomorrow and do my thing. And we'll fight the last battle. And we had the quote of this week that I thought was really good is the whole her just being there what am I getting strong for?
Yes.
And really pondering in this moment as she looks down. Let me find the exact quote, but
sure, yeah.
You talk about Aviendha for a second while I
yeah. I mean, I'm really excited to get into Aviendha's Rudian journey because it's been a long time coming. She kind of just disappears for a while, and there's great stuff that is happening in between there. But I'm really ready to have a conclusion for that at the end of this book, which I think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I hope the Nakomi thing kind of comes into play. But yeah, Aviendha's perspective has just been challenged for the last couple moments that we've seen her, with her becoming an official wise one and being sent and then going to Meridian and then having these conversations. And I am so curious for her Meridian journey, and I hope we don't glaze over that. I really want the details of it. I wanna know how she feels, and I wanna know how she got here. And yeah, Aviendha is one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really looking forward to spending more time with her. Yeah. I don't think we'll go right away into Meridian. I think there's going to be other stuff that happens first.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I can deal with that. Yeah, what are you looking for exactly?
I can't remember. I can't find it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish, sorry, excuse me. I almost wish Aviendha had been in, the dream in Tel'aran'rhiod with Bear and Amis.
Mm-hmm.
This, meeting. But I guess she's not, full wise one yet, so she has to go do it.
She didn't know about
first.
it. She was running.
Well, yes.
Running through the desert.
But you can visit people in dreams, so, they could have, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love the idea of, what is the point? In this final section, Aviendha looking at Meridian and being like, what is the point of learning our history if we are all aware of it? Right? The whole reason for the Meridian trip for the Wise Ones and the Clan Chiefs was that they wanted to keep the secret of the truth of the Aiel to us, the select few people who were prepared for it and who had the strength to handle it without having the bleakness, right?
Yeah.
And so to have her sit there and be like, well, now that we all know, why are we doing this? What is the point of this? After the last battle, what is the point of this? We will have served the purpose of this.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it mean to have had a purpose and to, as a culture, have a purpose and to lose that purpose?
Yeah.
I think the society that to me is most interesting after the last battle, depending on how it goes, is the Aiel, right?
Yeah.
Because for Randland, everyone's just going to live their lives, right?
Well, and for the Aiel, they went to the Threefold Land to become hardened warriors and live a hard life for the purposes of
being ready for this moment.
And so why would they continue to punish themselves afterwards? And what are they working towards? What is the next step? How are we moving forward? I definitely think that a lot of the Aiel are not going to go back to the Threefold Land. I
don't know that Threefold Land will exist.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The whole world might break.
And I think that I think that part of looking at Meridian in this lake, she's like, oh, the Threefold Land is also different. Yeah. There's water here.
Yeah.
If there's this giant lake here, why would we go live in this other place?
Well, I mean, this is going to become an actual city there now. Yeah. It'll be, you'll be able to travel to it, go visit without, like, running through the desert if you don't want to.
Well, and I think that, like, over time, the ideal are going to change, obviously. Mm-hmm. Everybody changes. But, society moves to the places where life is the easiest.
The ideal will ride the sandworms. Yeah, from the Blight.
Shai Halud!
100%. Yeah, I love that everything is being thrown into question in these moments because I cannot wait to see what conclusions our characters come to.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I took a photo of something earlier on to bring up because you know how we've talked about like the Perrin like smelling emotion thing is like kind of can be silly at times, and there was a moment where someone smelled sheepish. And I was like, they smell like a sheep? Like, or, like, does smelling sheepish as an emotion smell like actual sheep?
Oh
or, like,
God.
How does this work? And I was like, I loved that was, like, because it's, like, how, it's our word for it. I wondered how it, like, smelled. Like, I need, like, a dictionary of, like, what each emotion smells like.
Arzu, thank you for that super chat.
Arzu, thank you so much.
Aviendha had always wanted to be strong. Learn the spear, fight, and earn G. Be the best.
She wants to be the very best that no one ever was.
She has much G. Yeah. Y'all, we have a plane to go catch. So we're going to... It's not our longest book club, but we're still over 2.5 hours. So I guess it's not our shortest. We're going to do high-low, because that's the end of the reading this week. We will be back in 2 weeks. No book club next week, because we're in LA.
We're in Los Angeles.
And we're probably actually going to be in Disneyland. Watching the new Rogers the Musical, which we're very excited to see. I could do this all day!
Nice.
So Clarus is going to do her high. I'm going to do my low. She's going to do her low. And I'm going to do my high. Because we compliment Sandwich this biche. When I was a child at the dinner table, this is what my family did to bond after my mom and my stepdad got married. Mm-hmm. And it's a good way to commiserate over each other's lows. Celebrate each other's highs. The double C's there bring me life and joy. Clarus, what is your high for chapters 34 to 45 of Towers of Midnight?
I think it's gotta be... fuck, there's so much good stuff here. Like trying to pick just one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that Blue needs to stop.
What the fuck?
Blue, what are you doing? You're already the executive producer. You don't need to do that.
Y'all are weird. Y'all are a bunch of weirdos. Thank you, Blue. We appreciate you.
Oh my God. Do. Blue, thank you so much.
Y'all are so weird.
Gonna make me lose my goddamn mind.
We love it,
seriously.
but y'all are weird.
Fucking hell. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And bears on roller skates.
I can't. I literally can't. Today is fucking bonkers.
Today's been crazy.
Absolute bonkers.
We can afford to go to LA.
Yeah, woo!
Nicholas Reed, thank you for that super chat. Or for being a member, whatever.
Nerd table. Yeah.
Blue is the best. Blue is the best.
We love Blue.
Straight up a fact.
Producer Blue.
Yeah, Sean says you are paying Blue, right? No.
It'd be really weird to just like be giving Blue money so that
they can give money to Google.
Yeah, so YouTube can take a cut.
Google doesn't need our money. Well, actually, they might soon, but we'll get to that.
Don't worry about that.
What is your high?
My high is it's got to be the forging of Mjolnir. I mean, whatever it's Mjolnir. Yes. I don't know what it is about forging weapons in fantasy. I do not understand it. It does not make any sense to me.
But it brings you joy.
It was a fucking rad moment. I love that the One Power was involved. Like everything about it was incredible. And then, like, getting the Wolf Banner afterwards. Like, that sequence of events is definitely my high for this section. But what is your low?
Oh, God.
What's your low? It's tough. I don't know what my low is either.
I don't know.
Low?
Nakomi. I didn't like that chapter.
Oh.
It didn't. It's not even that I didn't like it. It just didn't work for me with where it was placed.
You're like, I don't get this right now.
Yeah, it felt a little out of place, and
that's fair. It came in the middle of everything, and I was like, what?
It just felt a little bit easy for Aviendha to just get handed a bunch of answers.
Yeah. I'm totally open to that being like there being a payoff, like there's like a thing going on there.
Yeah, it could, if it goes somewhere, great.
But
it's just right now, I was like...
Yeah, where we stopped, I was like...
We haven't seen Aviendha in so long, and then we just got this chapter that felt a little convenient.
Yeah. Nexius,
thank you for being a nerd.
Table. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of have the same low.
It's hard because everything else was so good this week.
So good. Like, I'm like, what was even low about that? Not even the Nakomi stuff was, like, low.
It's just the lowest of what we got.
Yeah, I don't have context for it. Like, I'm just a little bit confused, and that's okay. I think understanding will come, but just for this moment, I'm kind of like, I don't get it.
I don't think my high will really surprise people once they hear it, knowing who I love in this series, and who my boy is. But the moment that I got the most emotional, partially because it was so late and I was very tired when I finally finished the reading, but was Lan. The golden crane moment at the real payoff of Nynaeve's moment in Knife of Dreams to now.
Yeah.
I really loved him breaking there, and the comedy of Nynaeve getting over with the horse, the moment of him being like, I'm gonna send her frustration but love too because he doesn't want to, and then to like have this moment where this roar starts up. I just had like, you know, I had goose pimples all over my skin, and I felt that moment.
Yeah.
And when I can feel a moment in the writing, that's really nice. I love when I have like a physical reaction to what I'm reading.
Yeah.
And so that moment was just a real high for me. I really, really, really loved it, and it was very moving. And so it's my high for the week.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I feel that.
With that, though, it's time to end the podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the finale of this book. Then the following week, we will... So here's the deal, guys. 2 weeks from now, end of the book. Week after that, full book recap. No book club for 2 weeks after that.
Yes, because of the role-playing
we will be live.
Relay.
You can come. We will be on the channel. We'll just be doing something else.
You guys can do your own book club in the chat. Well...
What are you doing?
Oh, hi.
Oh, my God. We got a troll in the house.
Hi, Holly. What's up?
Oh my god. So yeah, we are going to be we will be live with the relay, but we won't be doing book club.
We're gonna be live at Holly's house.
Then all of August, we're doing 4 weeks. Each week we'll cover 2 episodes of the show.
Yes.
We're doing a reactions, and then we will also be doing book club to talk about those episodes and what we think's happened in season 2. We're gonna spend all of August just kind of chilling a little bit, because once the show starts, September 1st. We're going to be doing book club every Friday morning, except maybe the first one. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen with the first episode because we're in Atlanta.
Yeah, Dragon Con is a bit of a hitch.
But we are going to be doing the show for 8 weeks, maybe. Or if there's 3 episodes on the first day and then 5 episodes after that, we might be doing like 6 weeks.
We'll have to figure out because of how they release it.
And then we're going to start A Memory of Light the week after the show ends.
Yeah. Full reactions will be up on Patreon when that comes out. So yeah, if you want to see.
Unfortunately, we're not going to be posting the full reactions on YouTube. So if you want to watch the full length reactions to the episode reactions, you are going to have to go to YouTube or to Patreon for that. Sorry, YouTube members. I know that people have already paid over here. It's just a little
for the show.
For the show, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
It's just a little bit different. But well, actually, maybe we could.
I don't know. We'd have to figure it out.
We do with the audiobook reactions, though. We just couldn't have the syncing up is harder.
Yeah, with the script. Yeah. We'll look into that for y'all because I don't.
Maybe I don't want people to have to pay twice. Let me figure that out by August. And we'll find a way to do this.
Yeah.
Light Blind Fool says my eyes and ears tell me 3 episodes first week. That's a problem for us because we are in fucking DragonCon. Blue, what are you doing?
Jesus Christ.
Blue, calm the fuck down.
Oh my god, guys.
Fucking Blue over here, being a
Blue. Blue just blew in. Blue, stop it.
Blue do be blueing.
Blue be blueing.
It is on Prime Video. We could do those episode reactions as watch parties on Amazon and film our reactions.
Oh.
And like record them, but do them live on your Twitch.
Oh.
We could do them on twitch.tv/ColorsPlaras.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be using that really, but okay. Blue didn't do nothing. You got no proof. What do you mean we don't have proof?
Blue, this is all recorded. What do you mean?
This is live.
We literally have receipts. I get a receipt for all of this shit. What are you talking about? I have to pay taxes on this.
Blue, thank you so much for another 10 fucking... Blue is like, everyone gets to watch the reactions.
Yeah, we might have to miss like the entire first day of DragonCon to cover the show.
Stop it.
Whatever. It's one day of a 5-day con. We'll be fine.
True. Yeah, it's fine. It's not the end of the world.
All right. So, follow us on the internet. I'm at nerdynightly.
I'm at Polaris.
Leave 5-star review on iTunes. I'm going to start reading those next time. I think there's a couple. We just don't have time today. We're going to go into Smut Corner. But thank you so much for watching. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And we will figure everything out. We'll make sure everything is super clear before the reactions start happening in August.
Yeah. We will give you a plan. Make sure you're in the Discord.
Clarus! What a smut would you add this week to this smutty, sexual fucking week of reading?
Okay, well, we already added the full orgy when they're creating the hammer because it was basically there in subtext, you know what I mean? There wasn't much we had to add into that. That was pretty self-explanatory.
Alejandra definitely likes watching Berlane and Galad flirt, but I think Alejandra also wants to be there for their first time.
For their first time?
Alejandra wants to watch.
First time is, like, awkward. I feel like, you gotta get them some practice.
I don't think Alejandra cares about that. I think she just wants to be there.
Okay.
She doesn't want to miss out on the experience.
Oh, she's got bad FOMO? Yeah, right. Okay, that's fair.
FOMO for other people's relationships, that is a toxic trait.
Yeah.
I definitely think, I think that, like, if Nakomi is God, that was Aviendha's chance to have, like, a little lesbian tryst with God. And, like, I don't think the other 3 people in her partnership would be mad at her. I'd be like, yeah, go.
Yeah, if you have the chance to have sex with God, like, that's got to be on everyone's, like, pass list. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. If God shows up, it's like, okay, well, like, obviously, this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Who else gets to fuck God?
Yeah, I mean, and there would be no better version of that than, like, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? You get, like, go airtight with it.
Oh, my fucking God. Should have expected that. Like, I should have expected that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where else. I think Galad and the White Cloaks are definitely,
Before battle, they're like, there's no women here, so let's get it. Let's get it on.
I think
Except Fire. Fire's too uptight.
I have a feeling Grendel pegged Slayer as a punishment for failing, not knowing that Slayer loves getting pegged.
Right. Slayer's like, God, yeah, I'm into this.
Slayer was playing around with the mind spike in a different way before he put it in Tel'aran'rhiod, Riyadh, if you know what I mean.
What would that do to a person?
Probably nothing. You just bounce up and down on a little bit.
Yeah, but it looks like it's like a spike. Like, you'd have to be very careful.
I mean, I've seen some weird dildos, so.
Sure. Yeah. But, like, that sounds dangerous.
What even is this show?
What do you mean, what is this show?
We are so weird.
Our show.
I know.
We came up with this.
Well, thank you for watching
Isam
it.
loves getting pegged, but Luke hates it.
Isam loves getting pegged, but Luke hates it is definitely where we end the show today. Thank you so much, chat. Thank you to our mods. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, mods.
We will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Bear, and thank you, Blue.
The last chapters of this book.
Mad fucking lads.
There's reactions between now and then, right? Are we reacting? We're reacting to the epilogue, I know.
Yes, there are chapter reactions that are going to go up on Patreon and YouTube that I can
They'll come up the 2 weeks, though. They're not going to come up this week because we can't react.
We're gone. We're in LA, but we're doing a reaction to 48, 49, 54, 55, and the epilogue. So thank you to Brian Verdius, Nisa, Purpleaja Verdius, Arzu, and Turbach.
Cool. Everybody do something nerdy tonight. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.